Hey, Rolling 20 fans, this is G, and I'm here to tell you today about a new sponsor for our show, Casey's Irish Pub. This is an honest-to-God Boston or Chicago-style Irish pub located in downtown Los Angeles. They serve cooked food, 11 kinds of beer, and 49 different Irish whiskeys from 3 different distilleries. What does that mean? That means if you're looking for a good drink during a Los Angeles convention, you don't have to go far. If you're headed to Los Angeles for E3, Kamikaze, Anime Expo, the Los Angeles Car Show, or one of the hundreds of events happening near the Staples Center, then a good meal and a glass of Guinness is just a short walk away. Jeremy, the loud guy who won't shut up when we do our own podcast, he actually ate there during the last Anime Expo, and he said this. Forgive me if I don't sound like the guy. I went to Casey's Pub looking for a place to bring people for a good night of food and found it when I was driving people on my way back to the Los Angeles Convention Center. We went back and I had the best steak pot pie in my life down there. My wife had a good whiskey to sip, and 8 of us had fun talking and eating in a place that looked like it belonged in a movie. Casey's just a couple of blocks from the Westin Bonaventure. That means it's close to one of Anime Expo's own shuttle stops. We're even hosting a photo shoot there during the 2014 Anime Expo. If you want more details on that, email us at mspfreight@yahoo.com. Hey, so do yourself a favor. And don't stock up on bad beer and try to mix something sitting at the desk of your hotel room. Ride the elevator, get off at the Bonaventure, and walk to Casey's Irish Pub to get some drinks by their bartenders. Make some new memories and have some fun. We want to see you there.
Hello, everybody. This is Anthony Beyond from Mission Start Podcast, and it has been. I mean, I say this every time, but yes, again, this has been a very long time since we had the last episode, and this time we have something to talk about now.
It's like a monthly podcast.
I know, right? At this point. Anyways, as you might have heard, joining me tonight is Grace Dietz,
Hola, hola.
and also joining us tonight is Ramen,
Hello, everybody.
both from MSP, of course.
MSP.
Okay, so, gentlemen, it is August, no, it's not August, my bad, it's September 3rd. It is about the dawn, or I guess we call it the calm before the storm of just the amount of games going to come out in this entire fall season lineup, and, yeah, it's at that time of year again. Remarkably, it did not start in August, I believe, like, as far as like big games, outside from like maybe The Walking Dead season 2, and then some
Well,
more indie developed games, like I haven't really seen anything like big came out.
well, let's see. I think August was kind of like the start of it because like what you had Ultra Street Fighter 4 came out for consoles and like PC. That was like a really like big release, I'd say. Diablo 3 Ultimate Edition came out also. Hotline Miami PS4.
Yeah, I mean
Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare.
yeah, I mean here's the thing. Like some of these games have already came out, or
Yeah.
like it's a rehashing of what it has came out, and as far as like anything that's really anticipated, because I mean like honestly like I didn't really hear much hype behind like Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition. Don't get me wrong, the game is great, but like I wasn't like hearing like a lot of hype like, oh man, I gotta play Diablo 3 like the second, third time again, on a different console.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean like it was to each your own, but still, I mean, yeah, definitely. But yeah, what else happened in August that I can just kind of glaze over?
Walking Dead
Yeah, Walking Dead
Season
season 2.
two.
That's a big one.
It was basically the the final episode came out.
Can I?
Speaking of Walking Dead season 2, but we also had Wolf Among Us by the same people.
Oh right,
Oh,
definitely.
yeah.
Like I'm ashamed to say
Telltale.
I'm ashamed to say I have the Walking Dead game, but I've never played it. Well, I played like the first episode for a bit. That shit's
Play it.
intense.
Play it.
I know. I know.
That's all I need to say. Just play it.
Yeah, I know. I need to get around to it, but so as we're going through some of the games that are coming out in September, October, and December, or November, December, much of which we're kind of looking on, what's this, wiki? As far as like game-wise that's coming out, as far as like what they've listed.
Yeah, it's I like the wiki just because like it's made by people who are from around the world doing this and putting it up. So I don't know. For me, I enjoy looking at the wiki versus going to a site because I feel like they're gonna miss a game.
Yeah, I
Yes or
agree.
no?
No, because I
There's a
was
silent person,
looking
like,
it over.
Yeah.
I was looking it
Sorry,
over
man.
as you were saying.
I'm becoming an old man. I'm just yeah, I mean, I think that, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I'm just kind of glancing over September right now. The one game, and we talked about this on the show before, that you guys are excited for, I'm still on the fence about, is Destiny, and I'm not, like,
Oh my god.
like, there's a lot of hype
The
behind
Destiny hype is so real right now.
it. Is. It really is.
Yes.
But the thing is, though, is, like, I mean, like, as you might have heard, like, the game is not going to be really, the review copies are not going to be given out to other websites until, like, the day before it comes out. And their reasoning for it was, like, they want the reviewers to have a more full experience of everybody online at the same time playing, rather than playing in an empty world. Uh, my only problem with that is that can the servers hold everybody? We've seen this before. We've seen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I was trying to express on the Facebook post that you made, Anthony, was that this is something we've seen before many times where a company tries to prevent any bad press from the game before the game comes out because they know that there's something wrong and they don't want to tell anybody. This
Yeah.
could be like it's also been a situation where we've seen it be nothing. Literally, they just don't release it. They don't release any review copies into the day before, and it literally means nothing. Like there's nothing like inherently wrong with the game that wouldn't have already been there. But 9 times out of 10, that's definitely the case. And for me, I'm excited about Destiny. I'm a Halo fan. I've always been a Halo fan. I want to play the game. I really liked the beta. That being said, I also know and fear that when this happens with a big title like this, it's usually the case where they are worried about something that's going to be
yeah.
unsafe.
Well, I mean, Bungie and Activision has like a lot like writing on this game right here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like this is supposed to be the next big
Halo.
like well Halo, Call of Duty, the next big shooting franchise.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no
But we've
doubt.
seen this before. Like PlayStation tried to do this with Killzone, and that fucking blew up in their face.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
No, I remember when they used to do that. They used to be like, "It's the Halo killer," and it's
I
like,
know,
yeah.
right? Oh man. Yeah, I mean, like it's gonna be a real test. We'll have to wait and see. It's an interesting breed of a game because it's a first-person shooter MMO. I mean, they're not saying it, but that game's a freaking MMO.
Well, it's not really a MMO. It's like a fake MMO, which is the reason why Destiny is so
I guess
like
I guess
interesting.
I guess you can call it like a pseudo MMO in a way.
Pseudo. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely it's like it has the skin of an MMO, but the meat and bones of it are not. And I think that that's also misleading to a lot of people. They expect it to be this certain way. And don't get me wrong, when those events happen and like you have a bunch of other randoms in there with you and your buddies, like that shit's fucking awesome. It really does make it feel like a living, breathing world. But this is something that we talked about on I think we did when we did the podcast for it. Like,
Yeah, we did a podcast for Destiny. Yeah.
Yeah.
you should go check that out, listeners.
Good.
But that's like something that how often is it going to happen? Am I going to feel that way the entire time? Like, I want Bungie to, I keep saying like a lot, I want Bungie to really make me feel like I'm in, like when I'm on Earth and I'm in Russia or wherever, and I'm going through an area and there's a bunch of enemies. Like there were multiple times where, for example, I was like a level 2. And all of a sudden in the distance I could see a bunch of guys fighting level 5 characters that I knew I couldn't beat if I tried. So I just kept moving on. Like, is there going to be a bigger presence of that? Or is it just going to be like what we saw in the beta? And if it's like what we saw in the beta, I don't know how excited I can truly get about the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. I definitely hear you.
Yeah.
I think there's a difference between being excited for it and looking forward to it. Because I'm looking forward to it, but I can't say that I'm excited.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's just kind of like we were talking about during the Destiny podcast. Was that like I feel that depending on who you play with, right? Like depends on like how much hype you're going to have, because this game is all centered around the social aspect of it. Like this whole game is built around socialization online, you know?
exactly.
So it's just like I was saying, the amount of fun you're going to have and how much you're going to like this game is going to be depending on who you play with.
Yeah, I think so too.
Exactly.
I think so.
What I really want to see in the full game is that if I decide to play the game by myself, like all my friends are not online and I really want to play the game for like an hour or whatever, can I hop into the Citadel? Wow, Mass Effect. Can I hop into the tower, and there's a bunch of randoms in there, and I just walk around with my mic on and I go, hey guys, I'm looking for 2 people to go on a mission with. And will they be able to join me? Can they join me? Like, I want that kind of interactivity.
Yeah, I
and that's
definitely
just,
hear you.
like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the game looks gorgeous. Even from the beta, it looks gorgeous. Like, and the thing that worries me the most is that the campaign is short. It is legitimately short for a game of its caliber.
I mean, I don't know.
Halo.
Well, wait. Okay, well, wait. While the game isn't out yet, I mean, I don't think we can sit there and say like a game is.
Right. I mean.
Well, no, that's what I'm
you
saying
know.
is that everything that's been said about the game's length is roughly the same length as a Halo campaign. And the point
So,
that
like,
I like to
roughly
make
about
about
like
that,
8 to 9 hours. Yeah.
exactly, and that's the point I like to make about that is that long enough for a campaign with the game of this caliber?
Yeah.
And I feel that it won't be for a lot of people.
I definitely.
And
I mean, yeah, I mean, I can kind of see that. Like, if you're just going in and you just want to hear the like story, but like it's just kind of like I said, yeah, I think the people who are going to stay are the people who are going to have fun socializing.
Right.
Because you know, like,
I think
be like, hey, like,
yeah.
like I went through the story and I got all the best stuff, but my friend needs help, so I'm gonna go and help them. Or hey, I'm gonna build up my clan and like we're gonna roll around and be badasses, you know, or like whatever, you know.
right, and that's just it. Is like that's what I want. Is I want all that, and I honestly worry that not all of that's going to be there. And I'm not trying to be like a pessimistic person about the game, because I think that there's probably more positive than negative about the game, but I feel that those negatives will turn people away.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see that. I want to see, because Bungie's one of my favorite companies. They've made a series of games that fucking rock my socks off. So
Oh yeah.
to see them fail would be the last thing I want to see. Now, I'm not saying this game will fail in regards of sales, because that ain't gonna fucking happen. But
Yeah.
but what I definitely don't want to see is that all of a sudden, like, there's like a surplus of people returning the game, or people just all of a sudden there's only 10,000 people playing it online. That's not a whole lot of people. That's not a lot of numbers. If they sell 1 million copies and there's only 10,000 people playing after a month, that clearly says something, and I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I agree.
Other games that I'm kind of looking through the list for September that I think are going to get a lot of attention for better or for worst. One of which right now, it's the Hyrule Warriors.
Oh yes.
The game,
Or as I like to call it, Link and his bitches.
pretty much. I mean, it that game. Okay, so there's a lot of people who are interested in the game, but honestly, that game I think's gonna suck.
You think?
I don't think the game's going to suck. I just don't think people are going to get what they want out of it. Like, for example, I think it's going to be exactly like Destiny Warriors. Exactly. However,
you mean like
Yeah, you said Destiny Warriors. Okay.
you mean like
Dynasty, I meant.
you mean like every other Dynasty Warriors game that they make in the same vein?
Exactly. I think it'll be identical to that. The issue at hand is that the story will not be that good. Because A, it's not made by Nintendo. Made by the company that makes Dynasty Warriors.
Yep.
B, you play Dynasty Warriors for the idea of being a badass and just destroying groups of armies. That's the whole idea behind that game. So that game to me is a one-trick pony, a fun one-trick pony, but a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
So I don't think if you're going into that game looking for a story, you're playing it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. I think that I think it's worth a rental for like a day or two, and I think that's about it. So,
Yeah.
Well, there'll be a lot of
I mean-
people I know personally that'll be buying it.
Oh
but-
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
no doubt. I think it's that's just because like, there's a lot of lot of fans out there who love Zelda and everything. I kind of talk tonight. There's a lot of fans out there who are really enjoyed Zelda in the previous iterations of it, and Hyrule Warriors just kind of it's very different to what it's used to, and it's something that people have. I don't know if they've been interested to see something like this, but it's very different than what the norm of what the other Zelda games that came out.
For sure.
Let's see.
To slightly move on, I think a game that I'm looking forward to, whether I end up playing it or not, is Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor.
I've been hearing a lot of good stuff out of that game.
Oh my!
Yeah, I've heard about
land,
that too, but I wanted to kind of throw something in the hat here for the Hyrule Warriors game.
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, like something that like kind of like a lot of people are kind of like ripping on for like a lot of series that Nintendo has is it's like, okay, it's like kind of like the same game over and over again, but like released like 100 times, right? So I mean, with them doing the Hyrule Warriors thing and it being more of a like hack and slash type of game, I think a lot of the Zelda fans will find it like a welcome change, and I think it'll probably be a pretty popular game. I would
Absolutely.
Say.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah, like just for the fact of like, hey, this is something different. Let's not push like boxes into holes and master swords and shields and
Right.
I will
yeah,
like
it's-
usual Zelda
yeah.
fare.
My thing is that it's sorry, I was gonna say it's gimmicky. That's what I was getting
there we
at. It's
go,
very
there we go.
gimmicky, but
Yeah.
gimmicky can be good. Gimmicky can be very good. It's like, oh, do you love Zelda and you love Dynasty Warriors? Well, here you go. Like, and I think that's what's gonna sell a lot of copies. I'm just saying, like, if there's people
on.
out there that go, I want it for the story, you're not gonna get one.
Yeah, no. I mean, I would say maybe the people who are probably not going to enjoy this game are people who have played Dynasty Warriors and are tired of it, because Dynasty Warriors is the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, there was
But
There
I
was a
mean, for,
Gundam.
like,
Yeah, I mean that was cool. Don't get me wrong. I think the Gundam game was actually pretty cool.
yeah, I know. I played the crap out of the Gundam Dynasty Warriors version 1 and 2.
Yeah, and apparently that sold a lot of copies simply because it was God damn it, now I can't think. Whatever, it was the giant mechs.
Gundam.
My brain is fried for some reason. I cannot think of things properly tonight.
So am like I the only one tonight like on my game? That's like usually like not the case. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll explain to you guys later when we're done recording. But anyway,
Okay.
so to move on. Sorry, not to cut anybody off, but
That's cool.
Shadow of Mordor.
Yes.
What gets me so excited about the game is not only does it play like Assassin's Creed, but in Middle Earth, but the idea that it takes place long before like the books or even Hobbit, and the power that your character has is like, I want to say the power of will, because he is able to take control of somebody's body, or he can do things as well. You can, as the player, you can do things that'll affect how other characters throughout the rest of the game react. So, for example, if this particular orc is afraid of fire and you start a fire and he sees you, down the road in the game, he'll remember you.
Yeah.
But if you
Yeah.
kill him, like, it changes. So I think that's the kind of dynamic gameplay flow that I want to see. How that'll affect the overall, like, if it has an overarching story, which it probably will, how it'll affect that. Or all these little changes, like little things like kind of like Mass Effect, like I said before. Well, that's all to see. But like the way, regardless, what got me interested was Assassin's Creed Middle-earth, and that's why I'm excited for it. Plus, it looks absolutely gorgeous.
Definitely. I've been hearing a lot of good stuff about it. I'm intrigued about like how it's gonna come out, how well it's gonna be received. I might pick that up actually, to be honest. I'm really excited for that game. The only other ones I can point out in this list from September, one is just personally as a fighting game person, like Persona 4 Arena coming out for PS and Xbox 360. It's already out in Japan, but it's coming to come out in the US in a few weeks. And that game, I can't lie. Like after watching some people play in Japan and people who have early copies of it or the Japan version playing right now, it actually looks fun. I mean, I can't lie. I can't lie on that. Just want to do my quick.
I've honestly never played a Persona.
Right. No, it's cool. What's funny is like I never played a Persona game either outside of Persona 4. The Arena fighting game. I tried to play the first one a while back, and I just I don't know what happened. I think I played it and I got caught up with something else. But yeah, I mean, Persona the Persona games, the RPGs are really good actually. So I need to go back and play them. But aside from that, have you heard about the I guess the DLC or like the sequel to Slender, the rival?
Oh, I do not. I don't care about that game. I'm sorry. I have a personal, not a gripe. I mean, like everybody can enjoy their own games, but those Slender, like that Slender game just was boring.
So
wasn't that
real
scary.
quick, not to go too deep into it. Sorry. Not to go too deep into it, but when it comes to horror games, the idea of a horror game is that you are progressing through a story. The horror part comes from disturbing imagery or the sense of dread. With Slender, it's literally
we should have
just
a scary games podcast and talk about that. Sorry, go ahead.
With Slender, it's just pop out scared like oh, he's near me. Okay. Oh no, he grabbed me. It's not. There's no.
And you can see it coming. You can hear it coming. Like you're not surprised at all. You fucking hear it. Excuse me, my mouth tonight.
No, good. I don't care if you cuss. Go for it.
All right.
This is a PG-13 podcast.
Oh,
You struck this chord in me right now. My head is just like
No, I'm with you on this, Ramen. I have no interest in that game or any games that like it.
Right.
Yeah.
Nor do I. I really suck at horror games. I'm a big wimp when it comes to it. But I've known people who, I can't lie the fact that Slender has, when it hit the scene, like it really hit the scene. And regardless. Regardless if there was any story to it, the fact that the amount of kind of build up to those scary moments was pretty good. But yeah, I'm kind of interested to see what happens. So moving on. So September, there was maybe like a couple games that are gonna be pretty big, but in the terms of like October, holy shit.
Okay, hold on. Do you? Okay, I don't mean to cut you up, but before you go into October, some games that I kind of see in the list that have made my ears perk up here, right? Let's see. The Xbox One and PS4 versions of Minecraft are coming out.
Oh, that's right.
Actually, at the end of this week on Friday.
On the 5th.
That's gonna be cool. I'm not exactly sure if they're going to be releasing it with the current PC version of Minecraft. That'd be awesome if they did. Let's see, Warframe is finally coming to Xbox One. That's a free-to-play game.
That actually came out
Warframe
yesterday.
is amazing. Oh, it did? Okay, yeah, it did come out yesterday. I played Warframe on the PC, and like it took so much time in my life. Warframe is gonna be awesome on the Xbox One. Fable Anniversary is coming to the PC. That's gonna be cool. The Final Fantasy rhythm game that's coming out for the 3DS. Have you guys seen this?
Theater Rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That looks cool. Also for the PC, Gauntlet. Like
Yeah.
Gauntlet.
The
I
return
mean,
of
like Gauntlet Legends. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw some of that.
That
past weekend at
I
PAX.
cannot wait. I am going to get that the first day it comes out. Like I am seriously going to get that. Like for like me, as far as games that I want to get this month, it's going to be Destiny, Gauntlet, and if I have any money left over, maybe Fable Anniversary.
I hear ya. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it was interesting some of the footage of it from this past weekend at PAX Prime on Twitch, and they were showing off some of the new Gauntlet. And it's really interesting. It's really cool. It's much of the classic Gauntlet that was back in the day, but they added some variations to it. And also graphics for obvious reasons. But yeah, it looks cool. It looks interesting. I am intrigued to see how that goes. And right now,
Oh,
go ahead.
I was gonna say I need to see some footage of it because I have no idea about it. The only thing I saw recently was Mega64's video that came out today about it. But there was no game footage. It was just them, doing their silly sketches that they do. It was funny, don't get me wrong, it was hilarious, but
Right.
there was no game footage, so I had assumed that it was just the traditional Gauntlet with slightly better graphics, and I'm like, well, that's not too interesting to me, but
Yeah.
it sounds like there's more to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Gotcha.
I mean, for like me, I mean, there hasn't been like a Gauntlet game since Dark Legacy. Well, that I can think
I think
about.
it's on 64.
Yeah, and that was the last one that came out. Did Dark Legacy come out on 64? Anyways, Dark Legacy was like the last Gauntlet game, and to see that they're going to be bringing it back after so long, and like thinking about like when I was a kid, well, not really a kid, I was maybe like middle school age, and me and my friend, we used to spend all freaking day on Gauntlet Legends for the N64.
Yeah, that's
So
one.
I'm
That's
just
the
like,
last one
I want
played.
this game. I want this game, and I'm gonna buy you a copy, Chubb, and you're gonna play with me. You're gonna like it. I'm gonna buy
console,
Anthony
though?
one too. Actually, no, Anthony, you're gonna have to buy your own, and we're all gonna play.
is that gonna happen? Is that a thing that's gonna be something that's gonna happen?
That is a thing.
Okay, I have to look into it. I have to look into see what I can do. But cool, awesome. So
October has a fuck ton of games.
yes, oh my
Dude,
god.
October, oh my, when I saw this list, my like gaming nipples got so hard, like it was just like boop.
Just to name a few, and add a list of just like many big hits that are coming. Even within, Smash Brothers for the 3DS. What was it? Borderlands, the pre-sequel. The Legend of Korra game, Bayonetta 2. What else can I just? Sunset Overdrive. There are a lot of good games coming out in October. Holy shit! These are just a few.
Yep.
Oh shit! Shantae's coming out this month?
Killer
Oh, yeah.
Killer Instinct Season 2.
Man, okay. Here's the thing.
What the fuck is Pokemon Art Academy? Sorry.
Oh, okay. Like-
Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I'm actually excited for the call. Wait, no, that's never mind. That's November.
Oh yeah. Like.
But anyway, yeah. So let's stick with October.
Yeah, legitimately. Like, if you're a gamer, like, it is one, early Christmas, but two, like, how do you? I mean, how do you play these games? There's just so many good ones out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
I can only feel for those who have to review games. I mean, Not saying anything great, but other sites that also do that too.
They have a lot more people reviewing games.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, can you imagine? It's like, man.
Project Spark. That's
Yeah.
gonna be fun too.
I think Project Spark's gonna be gimmicky. I think it's gonna be.
No. Okay. Like you guys, I will set up a little wager on this cast, right?
All right.
So, if Project Spark does not become a thing, because the whole thing about it is it's going to be a place where people can just basically create their own game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people love doing that shit. Like Microsoft is like, here, do your own shit, and we're going to make money off of all the shit that you're going to make, right? And I'm pretty sure it is going to be a big thing. And if it's not a thing, then Anthony, next convention that we're at together, you can kick me in the balls.
I'll take that wager. I will. I am more than confident that Project Spark.
Here's the thing about Project Spark though, that I think a lot of people, like, everyone was mad at E3 when they were like, oh, Conker's all of a sudden in the game. That's weird.
Yeah,
like,
no, that was
weird.
fucked up.
That was weird.
That
it was absolutely fucked up.
But I mean, okay, go ahead. I'll let you finish your point. Go ahead.
I'll say, but the game, because the beta's on the Xbox One, and the game is actually good. What makes the game really cool, and this is like, again, this is only in the beta, you get to create everything from scratch for your character. So you start a character from scratch, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, there's a base over here, and you need to go take it. Go ahead and create the path that you're going to walk down. So then you start creating the path, and you go like right next to things that you want to maybe interact with on your way to the thing. You create your character's journey, and then you get to and it's like, to me, that's really fucking cool.
It's kind of like I think it's gonna be, well, I mean, I wouldn't say it's gonna be as big as like Minecraft, but it kind of stems from that same sort of like idea of like creativity. Like, here is a sandbox, go and play in it and like fuck around.
Absolutely.
And see what you can do.
The problem with it is don't get me wrong, I think that games like that would be awesome if they really took off. It looks a la Minecraft, but as far as like recent examples of like actual games in that style that create your own type of adventure by building stuff and whatnot, like, they have not as succeeded as as Minecraft has. Like, for example, remember all the hype behind the Big Planet and how people were making stuff in their game, recreating stuff. That kind of took off. I mean, as far as I knew, like I think it was like Rooster Teeth featured like a different sort of like game type or whatever that they had, like from like people who have built stuff. But it didn't really take off in such a way that Minecraft has. Like, I have not like been hearing like people still playing. I'm pretty sure that people are still playing Little Big Planet, but not to the extent to where
where Minecraft is, yeah,
or to say it's a thing. So I mean, I mean, what exactly?
Okay. Well, I mean, I would definitely not go out on a limb and say like it's going to be as popular as Minecraft or more popular. I mean, what I'm just saying is that I think that when the game comes out and once stuff starts being built in there, like, you're going to hear a lot about this game. Like, I think it is going to be in the spotlight, I would say.
I give it a month.
You give it a month?
I give it a month.
Okay.
That's how confident
All right. I got you on this. I feel so confident about this game. I'm so confident about this game. I'm willing to put my balls in the line for it.
I'm on Anthony's side, but I don't give it that short amount of time. I give it a little bit longer before it just dies off.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. All right, we'll see.
Yes,
We'll see.
I think it's a fantastic idea. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think the game's awesome. I just don't think it's going to be popular.
Because I think it's going to get popular, and that I'm going to be like sitting on top of this huge mountain, and I'm just going to be like laughing at you guys and like, oh, ha ha, you silly fools.
No.
Ramen was right.
No. The next thing.
I've been wrong a lot about a lot of things, dude. I was wrong about fucking Battlefield 3, so.
Oh man, that was
It's not like it's not impossible. I'm just saying, like, from my perspective, the way that these creation type games work out, and the way that I've seen Project Spark look and played it, there's no way that this game is going to garner the kind of attention that it deserves by any measure.
Definitely, I hear ya. Like we said, there's a lot of big games coming out in October. And these are big names that I think that people recognize or have heard of. For me,
these are established franchises.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. For me, like as far as like a game that, man, there's so many fucking good games. Just to pick one of these out, like right now, there's a game that I wish I could play, but I don't have the console for, and that's Sunset Overdrive. That game.
Oh yes.
So much fun. Oh my god.
It looks so sick.
Great. See, you know what's funny about that game is like I want to play it because it looks fucking cool. It's super artistic and interesting and whatnot. However, the excitement diminished a little bit when at E3 a lot of people got to play it. They were like, "Yeah, it's not intuitive at all."
Really?
Yeah. Like a ton of people were just like, "It's super complicated to play. There's too many buttons to do too many different things at once." And you have to learn that shit very quickly.
Okay, well, hold on. Go ahead. Sorry.
One thing that they all did say, though, is that they did play a level halfway through the game and didn't know the controls when picking up the controller. That being said, though, maybe the developers made a mistake and gave the wrong demo or put the wrong demo out there, and they shouldn't have, but... The good thing that they did say, the other good thing about the game that they did say is it looks beautiful, and that when you see somebody playing it who knows how to play it, it's amazing looking.
Yeah.
I'm just worried that, again, I use the term worried and not like disappointed or whatever, that when the game releases, there will be a lot of people who don't want to play it after they start to play it because it controls poorly. I don't I really hope that that's not the case.
Well, Resident Evil fucking handled like a goddamn duck with a fucking 2x4 strapped to its back, but people played the hell out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. There's been a lot of games where the controls are shitty and the game still plays it still gets a lot of attention.
And you know, when you see from like a lot of these sites, like I mean, I'm not trying to like knock certain sites about that, but like when you see shit on like Twitch or like, you know, this is my playtime, I'm gonna tell you what I think about it. Usually the people who they send out there to like write about the games, they suck. Like I'm not trying to be a dick, but like usually the people suck, right? And the thing about it is I kind of like a game where you have to pick it up and it takes time to like learn. It's not like everything is like super duper easy. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying is I hope that the demo was something that is like halfway through the game where you've already learned all these skills. That's what I'm hoping it was, because I don't want to pick up the game and be like, oh god, this is really hard to play. This is like, they're not really letting me learn anything. They're not teaching me anything. They're just throwing me into the lion's pit and then expecting me to survive. That's what I hope it's not, because if that's what it is, dude, that's not cool. That's not gonna fly with a lot of gamers. So.
Yeah. I mean, especially with how like the gaming landscape kind of is nowadays.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. I just thought that was an interesting. I haven't heard anything from PAX. I know that it was at PAX, and I haven't heard anything from PAX about it.
Yeah.
But when it was at E3, a lot of people like Jack Patillo from Achievement Hunters. He got to play it, and the guy's not bad at video games at all. He plays them for a living. He was like, because he was the most excited in the office about it, and that was one of the first games he went to go play. He was talking about on their podcast, and he explained that when he walked up, the guy was like, okay, this button does this button does that, this does this does that, this does this. You have to hold that to do this and do that, and like he's just like, that's just too much information to just throw at somebody in the middle of a convention. So one of the things that he said was he's really hoping that that's not how the game is when you go to play it, that it gradually teaches you all that shit as you go, and then that by the time you get to the point that the demo was at, you're skilled enough to make it look like it did when the conference was happening.
Right, and you have to think that the section they showed to people at E3 was a slice of the game that may have been like in the middle of the game, or more towards more past to the point where like you have all your skills and you have everything that you can equip with, it, it may be that point, or it could be the fact that you started with that and you get to choose, like, what you can do, whatnot, and kind of figure out from there. It'll, we have to wait and how it, ugh, I can't talk tonight. We have to wait and see when it comes out. But like it's, yeah, as the first time I heard, like, from anybody saying like it wasn't that that the controls were pretty complicated.
Yeah, there was a lot of people that I was reading about that was talking about how it was just, it was not, the word not intuitive, or the phrase not intuitive, came across a lot when listening to people talk about that particular demo.
Yeah.
And I just hope that the level of intuitiveness is taught to you, and not, you're just not dropped into the lion's pit. Because there's been too many games that do that. Too many games that go, "Here, good luck. There you go." And
Yeah.
it doesn't make me want to play it.
What games do you say do that? Because I could, like, the only game I could think about, that I could really think about that came out in the last year was Dark Souls 2. Like Dark Souls 2 basically, like, literally does that. Like, here, figure it out.
Let's
Like,
see. Well,
but I can't think of any other game that does that, which is kind of the reason why I fell in love with Dark Souls 2, because it made you think, it made you figure shit out.
every other fighting game that came out in the last few years.
Yeah, but I mean, fighting games and like an action game is well, video games, but it's like a different styles.
Well, let me give you this, for example. And again, Dark Souls does this. Dark Souls absolutely does this. You have everything at your disposal, but the way that it teaches you to play is that it makes you go through different things that progressively allow you to develop what you're doing. Shovel Knight does this. Rogue Legacy does this. And what I'm saying is that is intuitive, allowing the player to develop their skills as they go by simple just knowing how to play the game. That's how it should be played, and Dark Souls does this. Dark Souls does not just all of a sudden throw you in with you knowing all the controls or expecting you to know all the controls. It teaches you the controls as you go. And like it'll throw tiny little things at you that you're like, okay, this is how I swing my axe. Okay, cool. This is how I jump. Like, and that's what I want Overdrive Sunset to do.
Damn, you did. Hold on, sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Oh no, I was going to make a comment on that, but I was looking at something online. I'll send it to you guys afterwards.
Okay.
But yeah, and that's all I'm hoping that Sunset does. Like, there have been games, I can't think of any off the top of my head, that just throw you in without any precursor, without you without teaching you a goddamn thing, and just expect you to play.
Yeah.
And I can't think of any games this year or anything in the past whatever, but I know that I've played those types of games, and those aren't fun. There are, like, most shooters do that shit. Like, hey, just play, just go, have fun.
Yeah.
Or if they do want to teach you how to play, they do it with, like, the opening levels, this really boring, hey, shoot at the targets, like.
Look left, look right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, even Titanfall, as much as I love Titanfall, it does that shit in the beginning. It's like, this shit's boring. I just want to play the game.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to see that. I want the game to be have a growth curve, if you will.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, I'm interested to see what people are gonna say about the game and just kind of reaction to it. Maybe one day I can come over to your place, Greg, and if you have a copy of the game, I'll play it.
Shovel
If
Knight?
you get Sunset Overdrive, dude, I am going to like drive to your house and I'm gonna.
Yeah. I get Shovel Knight on PC. That's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, I was like, because I mentioned Shovel Knight, and I was like, are you talking about that?
Yeah.
No, yeah, I'll definitely. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be downloadable only or on disc, but I definitely want to play it. Like, I think that's like I'm just in this conversation. I don't want to just go, hey, this game is going to be really fucking cool, and then we move on. I want to also throw the potential bad about it out there.
Oh
Yeah.
And because no game's perfect. No game's perfect, and we should never put a game on a pedestal.
No.
So.
No game.
Yeah, I mean, except for Superman 64. Come on.
Yeah. That game is totally awesome. That game is just 100%.
Fucking work of art.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. And
Dildos.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly, dildos. Um, so I mean, there are a lot of games to point out. I think the other game I think that's
Mhm.
gonna be pretty. Okay, well, it's gonna be big. I'm not sure how big it will be on the handheld, but Super Smash Brothers Brawl, the new
You-
huh?
I there isn't like a like subtitle for it. It's just Super Smash Bros, which I hate that.
Yeah,
Like
like
it
is
pisses me off.
like isn't it? I know it's called Brawl, but like isn't was there? Hang on, I gotta look it up. Was there
No,
like
the
another
the
name?
actual the actual titles for them are the sorry, I don't know why I'm stuttering. The titles for the games are Super Smash Brothers for Nintendo 3DS and Super Smash Brothers for Wii U. Those are the full actual titles.
That is terrible. I am just going to go with what I wanted it to be called, and that's going to be Hootenanny. So Super Smash Brothers, bro, like it'll be Super Smash Brothers Hootenanny. that is that is what I'm going to be going with. But I mean, I think like from like aside from the like messed up like naming choice for the game, I think it is probably going to be huge in the beginning, and depending on how well the like tournament players like latch onto it, will kind of tell us, of the like future of this game, of like if it's going to have a future
Right.
Right.
That's
I
on a handheld.
yeah. And the thing is though about it is that here's the thing. The 3DS right now is probably the the most popular handheld right now in this generation, or even I guess last two really. Or,
Well, it's always the the most like it's like always the best handheld.
right, and it's like many people like it and have a lot of it. Or a lot of people have it. Um, in terms of like the fan base that there is for not only Brawl but just Nintendo fans in general with the 3DS or with whatever DS handheld they have. My question is, I think like good people will buy it casually. As far as like pick up, I don't see unless no, I can't see people buying it competitively. Maybe there'll be
Hmm.
some, but I just can't see it because like this is the same thing that happened with Marvel 3 when that came out for the PS Vita. And while it
Hmm.
was a cool novelty, and say if you had like a stick or a controller and you connected to the top of the PS Vita, and you could play it like Marvel 3 on the go. Um,
Hmm.
but with this, like you're kind of restricted to the controls of the 3DS and
Yeah.
the way it's set up.
Um. Well, okay, like I can kind of see that, but the thing about it is that like the like main point about it is that all of these hardcore like smashers that want to get this game, like if they want to play it like so bad, then they're gonna get it
That's
on the
true.
3DS.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
Because I mean, because the whole thing with like Marvel, right, is that Marvel had already been out on the console,
Yeah, that's true.
right? Already for maybe about like a year, maybe even 2 years, I think, when it came out on the Vita. Okay, but for I think an entire month, maybe even 2 months, um, like the only way you're going to be able to play the new Smash Brothers game is going to be on the 3DS, and I think it is fucking brilliant that they ended up doing this.
Yeah, I, yeah, you're right actually, because like the new Brawl game won't be out until 2015, I believe.
Wait, let me see here. Okay, see, I'm looking at the list of things. It's not even slated to release during November, December. That hasn't even been announced yet. It just, as far as we know, it's holiday,
Yeah,
holiday of this year.
supposedly. Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think you're right. I think that you do drive a good point to the fact that there are people who want to play Smash, especially the hardcore, who want to get an edge or just, I guess, more knowledge about the characters, so that when they can carry it over to the console version. That's a very good point I think about. I think that that game will sell. I think it'll sell pretty good. I don't see them having much trouble selling that game just because it casually and hard-wise, like they hit on some of the favorite franchises
Yeah.
that people like Zelda,
I mean,
like Metro,
the
Mario.
the franchise is just completely like really hardcore fans, and Greg was there during the Brawl Tournament at Slack Anime this past weekend. Like, it was packed.
Not only was
It
it
filled like
packed,
an
but
entire room.
not only was it packed, but we constantly got questions asking um, if it was Melee or if it was Project M, because they didn't want to play the one that had the tripping mechanic.
The whole tripping, the random stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I mean, even though Brawl has that whole like tripping thing, like I mean, people still played it. Like, I mean, I would say that out of a lot of the like game, like as far as like games that are for like a tournament, right? Smashers are like the most like loyal. They will just play it. Like, they don't care. They love their franchise so much that they will just keep on playing it
Oh yeah,
for the most
that's
part.
true.
You know what I mean? I mean, shit. They Melee had supposedly died out, but what they've supported it for like what, like 10 years, and Melee is back on the MOG circuit. Like, it's crazy. So I think this game is going to be cool. I think it's probably going to be like a huge fucking like deal. It's probably going to be maybe game of the year next to Destiny.
I wouldn't go that.
I would say.
I
I would say.
Mm,
I would say.
I wouldn't go that far. I think
Game of the year next to Destiny.
no, because like right now,
Okay, well, wait, okay. How about this? Okay, as far as like, in like people's minds, as far as like if you were to go on the street and like ask people.
maybe.
Maybe?
Yeah,
Okay.
the reason why I said because like as far as I know, like there's some pretty good games that came out this past year, and one of which Transistor came out. And that was a pretty good game. So I don't know. It's too early to say game of the year stuff until we get closer to that time of year. But like I doubt it. I doubt it. If fighting game, don't get me wrong. I think the fighting game would be awesome. But yeah.
Well, when you say game of the year, Ramen, are you referring to like because just going on the street and asking a bunch of random people is different than like IGN asking their audience or us talking about our games of the year and shit like that, because
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me kind of like clarify here. So I mean, I just mean as far as like game of the year, as far as like in like people's hearts. You know what I mean? Like Greg, on my cast the other night, we were talking about like like what is our game of the year like so far?
yeah, and that yeah,
Yeah.
mine's Shovel Knight, but I don't like. There's a thing about Shovel Knight that really clicks to me, and I think that's why I really enjoy it. Like, take 2012 for example. Portal 2 got no Game of the Year nods, but it was my Game of the Year.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I truly don't think that Smash Brothers will get Game of the Year, but what it will get is Best Fighting Game of the Year. And I say that simply in the line that I don't think that fighting games get the attention that they should in an overall market. I mean, take Marvel vs. Capcom 3 for example. That game sold quite a bit on day one.
Yeah.
However, on day 2 and 3 and 4, so on and so forth, it did not sell very well. And that's simply because fighting games are a niche market. And there was actually a video that I watched not too long ago on the idea of why fighting games are such a niche market. And it's because there's a lot of intricacies that go into knowing the game. When a person goes like, I want to be a competitive person in this fighting game. I want to go to tournaments and win, right? They have to spend hours upon hours upon hours learning and practicing every single character's moveset. Not just for their own well-being, but so they can fight against it as well. The amount of knowledge and in-depthness that takes to getting that much out of a fighting game takes a lot of effort. And so that's why casual players will play a fighting game for a short period of time and then just discard it.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about Smash Brothers that makes it so inclusive, inclusive for so many different people, is that it is built to be both casual and non-casual. And so I feel that not only will Smash sell a gazillion fucking copies, primarily on the Wii U, but I think that if Nintendo does this right, if is it Sakurai? Is that guy's name?
Yes.
Yes.
If Sakurai does this right, they could be seeing their next gigantic, like this could, I'm almost willing to bet that this would get Nintendo's head out of the water, like above water. But as for like every other fighting game that's ever come into existence, they just don't sell well after a few days, and again that's just the niche market. And if the game has that feel to it, if the game has that like, oh, I gotta take my time with every single character and learn every single moveset and its abilities and all this shit, like it's gonna be very, very difficult for a lot of people to want to continue playing it. And now I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening because it's not in line with the other Smash games. Like I could pick up Smash right now and have a good time.
Yeah.
But if I were to play Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I'd probably get annoyed really quick.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I don't know it that well. I mean, yeah, I know a few moves that I knew back on the Super Nintendo, but I haven't learned anything new because the community around it is so strong.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. But I mean, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can just say that I think it'll probably end up being one of the best-selling games of this year, I would say.
Oh, I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. That's
Yeah.
what I was saying is I really do feel it'll be up there. I don't think it'll be.
You don't
I
think
really-
it'll be the top of the mountain, like king of the mountain?
No, I don't. I think it'll be in the top 5.
Okay.
But not-
Okay.
Yeah.
Who do you think would be at the top of the mountain?
Out of this year,
Yeah.
well, let's see. Well, here's the thing. When it comes to numbers being sold for a game, just on the name alone, I think that I would say one or two spot. I would say Call of Duty, just based off the name.
Mm-hmm.
And just because it's kind of been it's I don't say mainstream enough, but it's a casual thing to where everybody's gonna buy it and play it regardless of what reviews come out.
Well, I mean, actually, Call of Duty Ghost didn't do that well. Well, no, that was actually last year. Yeah, okay, you know what? Yeah, Advanced Warfare would be considered this year.
Here's the thing about Advanced.
But
Here's
yeah,
the thing about
Ghost like didn't do well, and people are like seeing like Advanced Warfare, and people are like, what the hell?
Well, the thing about this year that's really interesting to me is we haven't had any blow you out of your fucking socks games.
That's true.
We've had a few good games, but we haven't had anything that's just been like that. You know that motion that happens in certain animes where all of a sudden like it looked like something hit the guy in the face and he falls back. I haven't had a game like that this year, or seen a game like that this year. And
I mean, for me, it was Dark Souls too, but like that's just me,
Right.
you know.
No, yeah.
well, I think in that regard, Ramen, it's Dark Souls 2 was primarily about the gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
Because the story to Dark Souls is whatever. In my opinion, you don't play Dark Souls for the story, as far as I can tell. Yeah, it's like Diablo 3. There was a story. I wasn't paying attention. The way that they tell the story isn't very good, in my opinion. And then the scene that happens at the end before you go to heaven, spoiler alert, is such nonsense. I just went, whatever, let's finish the game. Like, I had fun playing the game, but I didn't have fun listening to the story. And I feel that's kind of the same with Dark Souls. Now, that's also coming from opinion of just watching the game, because I haven't played it myself. But
Yeah.
you can always get at least I can always get a sense of what the story is and how it's being told when I'm watching a game. with that, it just didn't seem like there was one at all. Or if there was, it was it's kind of like Rogue Legacy. The story is told to you by random moments of when you find a room that has a diary in it, and you read it and you're like, oh, okay, so this family's kind of like blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So like that to me, and this is my personal thing. When I play a game, I want a story. I want a really good story, and I'd say
I know I can kind of see it. It's just like because when it comes to the Dark Souls, like you have to like dig in order to like get the story.
Exactly, and that's right. And I want a game to come out this year that knocks my socks off. And I'm hoping Destiny does that. I really am. Do I think Destiny will do that? No, I really don't. I think Destiny will be a fun experience. It'll be a fun first-person shooter that I'll be playing for a while and have a great time with. But when it comes down to the story of the game, I think that the story is going to be very bland. It's going to be literally, there are hundreds of these characters that are going around to 4 different planets. I mean, 3 planets, 1 moon. And they are trying to stop the darkness from coming to Earth. Well, the idea of that is you just keep fighting the darkness. That as Guardians, that's all you do. So where's the story? I hope.
I mean, I don't know. Like the whole thing about it is like I would say, like Bungie, like they're really good at crafting stories. They did it with Marathon. They did it with Halo.
I completely agree. That's why I have
they did it with like Myth. So at that, like I think that the whole reason why they haven't been so open with the stories because they want it to be a surprise. They want you to feel the same way you felt during Halo 1 when you encountered the Flood.
They're never going to do that.
They want you to be surprised.
The problem with that, Ramen, is that's
internet.
a thing.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said, well, like internet kind of like messes that up. Like,
well,
obviously.
not just internet, but anticipation. Playing the beta, like there's no way that they can, because we know it's Bungie. We know it's the guys who made Halo and Marathon. We know this. We're going into it with like I'm gonna try to go into it as fresh as I can because that's how I try to view everything. But there's no way that they're ever going to make me feel like I did when I played Halo 1. It's just not going to happen. And if that's what they're trying to do, then they're going to fail.
I don't know. I mean, like it's just okay. Like the way I'm kind of going into it is like, it's like, okay, like I am going to like throw everything out of my head from Halo, and just try to like approach this as like it's like own thing. Like, okay, this is completely different. Like I'm not going to expect anything. I'm just gonna just sit back, tell me a story.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Tell me a story. Give me a experience, and I'm just gonna just base it like off of that. You know?
Yeah, that's absolutely how you should view it. Is a fresh thing, and that's kind of what I'm getting at with Destiny is that because you said that they want you to feel like you did when you played Halo 1, and when I say that they're not going to be able to accomplish that, I don't mean in the sense that they can't make it like Halo because they're clearly not going to make it like Halo. That would be stupid. What I mean by that is they should not concentrate on me going, look at these vast vistas of locations and oh my god and things like it. They can't do that. And I'll explain why, not just with Destiny, but with games overall. When you play Halo, or not Halo, I'm sorry, when you play any game now that has a huge overworld, that idea of a huge, vast thing kind of diminishes its awesomeness. You're already expecting that from a game like Destiny. You are not going to get that same feeling. Now, after playing the beta, I can tell you that the game will be fun.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the story, not having a central character, and this is something that we talked about during the podcast that we did for Destiny, not having a central character, they're going to have to tell the story differently than they ever have before. They're going to have, like, Ghost is going to have to be your primary character. he's going to have to be your Cortana, and he's going to have to be an emotional reel for you. If not, then they're going to lose the story.
Yeah.
So what I expect from Destiny is, what I hope for Destiny, not expect, what I hope from Destiny is a grossing story that is, because if you remember in Halo 1, Master Chief was supposed to be you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was still Master Chief. It was still a different guy's voice. It was still a character that you were playing.
Identity is what he had.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your character in Destiny doesn't have an identity. I mean, my character will look like Joanna Dark, as it has before, but that's an inside joke that the listeners won't get unless they watch the stream.
Unless they watch me, yeah.
But when they made Halo 1 and they tried to make it so that way you felt like you were Master Chief. When I played Destiny, I felt like they were trying to do that same thing. When the story would come about, it was like, oh, I found you, but it still has that feeling of a strong narrative wrapped around the idea that, kind of like, okay, have you ever played Warcraft or another MMO of any kind?
Yeah.
Where you create a character from scratch?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's almost as if the world, like, everything's already been breathing and going and moving forward without you, and you're just kind of thrown into the middle of the story, and you are essentially a character that isn't primary, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a shady situation where I really don't think that Destiny's story is going to be what keeps people there. I really don't.
Yeah.
I think that Destiny's story is going to be very passive. It's going to be very like, well, all this was happening. All this kind of shit was happening, and it's not a big deal. But you're just protecting.
Right.
It's almost as if you're playing a guard in Camelot. You're not the central character. You're not King Arthur and all those guys. You're just a guard. But at the end of the day, a guard is still a guard. A guard is still protecting people and protecting things and going on adventures.
It's 1 second here, guys.
All right.
So go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, I definitely hear you, Greg. I definitely hear. I mean, I get to wait and see when it comes out, but
Yeah, I got a little distracted there because we were back to, but
no, it's cool. It's cool.
no, I think the reason I was mentioning all that about Destiny, I think the reason that I was going on that tangent was because we were talking about Smash Brothers, and I think that with any of these games, and maybe it's just because I'm older now and I have seen too much stuff go badly really quickly.
Too much, man.
God, I have like 1,000-yard stare when I look at games coming out. I anticipate the negative, and maybe that's a bad thing, but I mean I also anticipate the positive. Like I've been saying about Smash Brothers, I think that Smash Brothers for the 3DS and the Wii U are going to be an amazingly fun experience. I really, really do. I think all these games that we're talking about are going to be, I'm going to have a blast with.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I just want that definitive blow my fucking socks off game, and the only game that's done it for me this year in any regard is Shovel Knight, and I want so badly for so many of these other games coming out in the rest of the year to do that.
Right.
I
hear you. I think that this year there hasn't been that knockout, everybody universal, like, oh my god, you have to play this game no matter what. And I definitely feel, I personally, there's been good games this past year, don't get me wrong. I think the closest we came to that particular thing was like Shovel Knight or like Transistor. There hasn't been like that knockout blow that everybody has been talking about. And kind of looking through the list in October, like the only other game I can think that could possibly do it, at least two of them, because some of the other games that are listed on here are kind of IPs we know and kind of the amount of fun we're gonna get out of it.
Like
I think
established franchises.
yes, I think the two that are gonna be really test, and then I've been hearing a lot of good stuff out of it from each game is Alien Isolation and I just lost my face. It was Alien Isolation and The Evil Within. They're new IPs. There's a lot of good buzz behind both of them. They could potentially knock it out of the park and might become that big hit that everybody says is gonna play. I feel it's the funny thing is actually they're both kind of horror-based games. Actually, funny enough, now I think about it.
They're not jump scare horror games, are they?
Well, Alien Isolation.
I hope
Alien
not.
Isolation kind of is, because the way that Alien Isolation works is that you do have that sense of dread, because you don't really have anything. Like, you do pick up guns and stuff to fight other creatures, but randomly throughout the game, maybe not randomly, I think you have a sensor so you can know where it is, but the alien will pop up, sometimes and kill you if you're not careful. And that's always a jump scare because it gets you from behind. All of a sudden, like, you just have a tail spear coming through your stomach. At least that's everything I've seen about it. But it still does horror in a very interesting way. Because we on Ramen's stream last night, we were kind of talking about horror, or was it on the first part of this podcast? Anyway, whatever. Horror games, because that's right, we were talking about Slender and how much I don't like Slender. Horror games need to be about giving the player a sense of dread. The anticipation of being scared is stronger than actually being scared. And when you get atmosphere, and so Alien Isolation does a really good job with atmosphere, an amazing job with atmosphere. Like, you don't know where anything is. You're going through a fucking ghost ship essentially, trying to find your way out, and it's a massive ship, so the game will take a fucking long time to beat. But it seems that the alien itself is a jump scare mechanic. So, I don't know. It could be interesting. That's all I've really seen of it.
Like, as far as I've seen, like, as far as, like, it's, like, horror style, it seems like it'll be kind of, like, sort of kind of in the similar style of, like, the way Fear was.
Yeah.
You guys ever played Fear?
I have. I can definitely see that.
Yeah, and I think Fear did jump scare correct, because in
Fear was... Oh man, Fear was one of my favorite scary games. I don't mean to cut you off, but it did the whole, like, really cheap scare type of thing good, but it also did atmosphere really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
Make it like the thing about Fear that was really cool was it did jump scares occasionally. It wasn't an all the time thing, and when it did a jump scare, it was just like you're climbing a ladder, and all of a sudden, like, in between, like, these two platforms that the ladder's on, you, like, pass up and you see the little girl for, like, the briefest of seconds. You're just like, oh, all right, well, I'm just gonna move on. Or there were moments in the game where everything would become confusing and disorientating, which is a great way to scare somebody. Like, you're walking down a hallway and things just get fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking, like, that shit is really cool. And I sincerely hope that confusion and disorientation are a huge part of Alien Isolation, because I think that would be, because, like, the thing about, like, when I see Alien Isolation, I see a lot of Dead Space 1 in it. And Dead Space 1 did a fantastic job of atmosphere.
Oh man, Dead Space 1, so good.
Oh yeah. Well, in my opinion, all three games are great. All three Dead Spaces are great, but they're all different types of horror. I think a lot of people kind of confuse that. But I see a lot of Dead Space 1 in Alien Isolation. So,
Yeah, definitely.
which has me very hopeful for it.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm interested to see how those games turn out because they're new IPs, but also because a lot of big names in terms of, like, who's making it or behind it, like, for Evil Within, some of the developers from I want to say fucking Silent Hill or Resident Evil, or no, Silent Hill. Yeah, or something along those lines. I remember hearing about Evil Within, but anyways, Evil Within, what I've seen so far is basically has a lot of Silent Hill element into it. But because there's a lot of weird shit in that game. Like, some already people have seen, like, the guy with, like, the chainsaw and, like, the kind of like cinder block on his head with like barbed wire behind it as he's chasing you.
Mm-hmm.
The controls look very old school tanky type of way. And I've been hearing some good vibes. I have not been hearing that many good things about the game as well for Evil Within. But if any case, at least in this month of October, I think if any game could knock it out of the park and become the thing that everyone wants to play, it could be those two. Well,
Yeah.
I think a
Yeah.
slight
So-
sleeper hit is definitely going to be or is that in that's never mind. Never mind. That's in September. Moving on.
Right. I mean,
Okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I mean, outside of that, like, my personal favorites out of October, in no,
Power Rangers Mega Force.
yes, exactly.
Um,
My
Go
personal
ahead.
favorites, real quick, just out of October, Borderlands pre-sequel, Peggle 2,
yes.
Bayonetta 2, and what else was there? I think that's it. Just my personal favorites. I am curious to see how Legend of Korra comes out because I know the guys behind Platinum Games is working on that, and the combat
Mhm.
looks really cool.
A lot of people think that game. I mean, like I saw some gameplay from it, and that it looks pretty cool. Like it looks pretty, and it looks like they're doing the combat like pretty like in a very like interesting way.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think the freaking the combat is awesome. Like, it's the game, man. I know Planet can do it because they've done really good stuff before. And then, man, if they nail it right, with Korra, man, that'd be really cool. Because you're the avatar and you can switch between like different elements. You can be an airbender or firebender and like link them all
What-
together in a combo. Oh man.
What I'm hoping is that like the controls for doing moves is exactly the same no matter what bending you're using, but in
Mhm.
order to switch bending, you just hit a trigger. Like you just hit the right trigger, and you're just like tapping the shit out of X and Y, and you just keep tapping the right trigger to change, and she's doing all these rad like she's water and then earth and then fire and then air and then water and then earth and like, or like I just fucking oh my god if that's how it plays, like I'm gonna be stoked.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think what's really cool about the Legend of Korra game too is I don't know if you guys heard about this, but when you beat the game, there's this really fun. Granted, it's only single player, but there's this fun little mini game sort of thing where you get to play in the pro bending tournament.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
You have to be on the fire ferrets, and you play as Korra only, but you have Bulin and Mako there with you
Awesome.
fighting.
Yeah.
It's fucking rad.
That'd be sick. Definitely. Yeah. A lot of good games. A lot of good games in October. There's just so many. But just real quick, you guys, like, what are your kind of favorite picks out of October?
Okay. Let's see.
You go first, Rob.
Yeah, I kind of took it upon myself. I'm sorry. Fuck you guys. It's my turn to talk. Okay, so for me, I would have to say Smash Brothers for the Nintendo 3DS. The Aliens game. Now that you guys have like talked about it, that looks like really cool now. Borderlands pre-sequel because Borderlands is awesome. Let me see. Bayonetta 2. I am interested to see that.
I'd have to play
Sunset
Bayonetta.
Overdrive, of course. Out of all these things, I would have to put Sunset Overdrive like top of my list for games that I really want to play.
Cool. What about you, Greg? What's your favorites out of this?
I have a few favorites. I have a few that are like, so it's gonna get a little long, but so Smash Brothers, obviously, I really want to play that. I want to check that out. Costume Quest 2, I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the first one. Granted, I didn't beat it because I just didn't have time, or something came out and distracted me. But I really, really enjoyed the first one, so I want to play the second one. Let's see. Borderlands is a pre-sequel. I'm interested in it. I can't buy it. Unfortunately, I'd have to rent it, so I might not get to play that day one. But I am interested in it. Moving down, Raven's Cry. We never really talked about Raven's Cry. It's not the game I thought it was. Never mind. Moving on.
Wow.
I've game is, to be honest. So.
I thought it was a different game entirely. I thought it was the. It doesn't matter. Moving on. Because I clicked on it on the link and I was like, oh, that's a pirate. Nope, not the game I thought it was. Of course, Legend of Korra game. Sunset Overdrive I'm looking forward to, and Shantae the Half Genie Hero.
Yeah, man. Okay.
What I have not even heard about that game.
Shantae was a Kickstarter game that I forgot which company that was kickstarting it, but basically it's kind of like in the same vein like a remake, like.
Well, it was a GBA game a long time ago.
Yeah. And they're updating the graphics on it. It's a side scroller type of deal. And it looks cool. I like it. I'm definitely gonna buy it, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's in the same vein almost as of Mighty Number 9. So, which is like a lot of 2D a lot of 2D side scroller games are coming out of the woodworks, and yeah, they both look great. I'm excited for that. So, cool, awesome. All right, so moving on to another big month, November.
Oh my God.
Yep.
November. Oh, I'm just
Just to name, just for those people at home, just name a few big games that are coming out.
Okay.
In November.
Okay.
So we got World of Warcraft, Warlords of how you pronounce that? Drenor?
We should hold on. I think that we should like add something in the cast to be like, warning, please make sure you have clean underwear next to you.
Right.
Okay.
So we have so just name a few. The new World of Warcraft expansion, Warlords of Drenor. We have the new Call of Duty Advanced Warfare coming out in November. Halo, the Master Chief Collection is also coming out.
Yes.
Interesting enough, both Assassin's Creed Rogue and Unity are coming out. Is it the same week?
Same day.
Same
day.
Oh, that's weird.
November 11th.
Well, I think that's not drastically weird considering that, Rogue is Rogue is old generation and Unity's new generation.
Okay, we're not done yet. Keep on going, Anthony. Keep on going.
Let's see. Far Cry 4 is coming out. Dragon Age Inquisition is also another good game. That's pretty good. Persona Q Shadow of Labyrinth for the 3DS. And Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I can't forget that.
Yes, Little Big Planet 3.
Yep. And let's see. For Europe, for everybody listening from Europe, Pro Evolution Soccer 2015. Guys, it's a game.
Gold.
And the only other game I can think of, like that could potentially be big, kind of, and I'm only saying this because I'm like, we're all going to conventions and whatnot, is like Hatsune Miku, Project Diva, have seconds for the PS3 and PS Vita.
I already have it pre-ordered.
So,
I'm completely lying.
So not as packed as October. Still pretty packed though. I think the big one that I have to say, obviously, just straight out of the bat is, Halo, the Master Chief Collection. It's gonna be, man.
Oh, okay. Do you mind if I take this one?
Sure, go for it.
Okay, so Master Chief Collection for that month, it is just the top of my list. Okay, now you're gonna get Halos 1 all the way to 4. Okay, everything included, multiplayer, campaign, all the maps, everything. Every single one of these games are going to be available for matchmaking, dedicated servers, original gameplay, original rules, button glitches, map glitches included. Okay? Halo 2 is getting a HD remake for next generation. Let's see what else. Halo Nightfall, if you're into the lore. The beta for Halo 5 The first time ever that Halo 1 has been available to play online on a console. You don't have to go through the whole Xbox Connect BS that you used to have to go through.
Is Halo 1 really included? I thought that it was just Halo 2.
What is?
Is Halo 1 really included? I thought it was only Halo
Yes.
2. Huh.
Nope. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Multiplayer, all.
Awesome.
Every single map too. So that means maps that were on the PC ones, all of the DLCs, everything. Like, this is just a complete Halo-gasm. That is the best way that I can just explain it.
Interesting.
And like, I have been a Halo fan like for years since it first came out. If you guys have been to my cast, you guys know. You guys already know.
And the crazy thing about this is like this collection is like all for $60, which is really good.
Exactly, dude. $60 okay.
If there was a bang for your buck game or collection, this would be it.
Yeah.
I say it's worth it. Because I was kind of questioning it at first, because like, well, it's a re-release of HD, of the HD version of these games, which I've already played before, but then they added some more stuff to it, like the Nightfall, like the Halo channel that they're incorporating with this, like the beta into Halo 5. A lot of stuff they're adding in, alongside with all the other games is pretty. I think it's pretty worth it. So.
Yeah, I mean, and you know how you hear that kind of like term where it's like, this is a love letter to the fans. This is literally a fucking love letter to the fans, and including a nudie picture with the love letter, okay, and sealing it with a kiss.
Yeah.
Like, this is that for Halo fans.
I think so too. I think it was solo. I think it was do pretty well. Yeah. Halo's one of those games where like it will sell no matter what. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part.
It will.
Yeah, so definitely.
Yeah, because it basically made a entire console.
Yeah. I find it funny that the fact that Halo, for the past, I guess, several years, I guess dating back to the first one, like every game has come out on the same date, like November 11th.
I mean, it's basically during the same month, but they varied with the what you call it, like dates. The whole reason why the Master Chief Collection is coming out on the 11th is because it is 10 years to the day that Halo 2 was first released.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But outside of that, I mean, like, I think if we're gonna talk about one shooter, we gotta talk about the other one. And Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Now.
Ooh, yes.
Okay, here's the thing about Call of Duty in me. Now, at the time when Call of Duty first came out on consoles, like the first big one, like Call of Duty 4, and it was that big feud between Halo and Call of Duty fans. It's like, oh, Halo's better. No, Call of Duty's better. Now, I played I think the last Call of Duty game I played single player through was Black Ops 1. Like I kind of been following just what's been up and kind of what the Call of Duty the other games came with it. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare actually looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I can't deny the fact that it looks good and it has that sci-fi stuff to it that I totally dig. So I'm definitely liking what I see. And I'm kind of interested to see. I might pick it up. I might.
Yeah. Actually, like out of all of the like years of this game, like coming out, it's just like this is the most like the most changes that I have seen. Like, you're having a like double jump system, you're having these like booster pack systems. Like, this is the biggest change in a Call of Duty game since like Modern Warfare 4. I guess you can technically say that like Ghost was kind of like a big jump
Yeah.
but Lux didn't like it. I don't know. Well, you could slide around. I mean, I don't. I mean, okay, like that is just a thing. Is like I kind of think that like this franchise needs this because a lot of people are just getting tired of it. Like I've heard it so many
Absolutely.
times, and it's kind of the reason why Ghost has not, didn't really do so well because people are kind of getting tired of it. But even then, Ghost was made, and it's a very lazy game.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That game was made very lazily. I mean, Chubb, you've seen me talk about this on the cast and whatnot.
And I don't disagree with you at all. It's
Yeah.
absolutely a lazy game. The story's lazy. The multiplayer's lazy.
Yep.
The multiplayer's a copy and paste of what was wrong with Black Ops 2. It had no appeal to me whatsoever to play it, and I still haven't beaten the campaign because it's so dull.
Yeah,
But
no,
with
yeah, same here.
but with this game, like I want to play the story. The story demo that they showed of like the dropship going through a building and then them kind of dealing with nano machines flying through the air, like that was fucking cool. And granted, not the first time I've seen it in a video game, but doesn't mean I don't like it. Doesn't mean it's not fucking still rad as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I think that the only devil's advocate-y thing I can say about it, because that's my role on this podcast apparently, is that it'll turn off some of the other hardcore COD fans like my brother-in-law who adores COD and doesn't know how to quite handle this new sci-fi direction it's going.
Is it really fucking with his mind? Just like.
Well, I showed him the trailer that I was just talking about from E3 right after it happened. I was like, "Hey, you gotta take a look at this. This is the new Call of Duty." And he's like, "Oh, let me look at it." So I showed him, and he's just at the tree. He's like, "Really? Fucking, that's weird." Like, all right.
Hilarious.
So I think that this will bring back a lot of people who enjoyed Call of Duty in the past and wanted something fresh and different, but it might turn away quite a few people who liked Call of Duty the way it is. So
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
you always get those people who don't like necessary change.
Yeah.
I feel they needed to change this game because it was the
Yeah.
same damn game that has been for the past couple of years with a little
Mhm.
here and there. This, at least, we have a new setting, we have new weapons, we have a new just type of outlook of the game. Bunch of weapons it reminds me a lot of Ratchet and Clank and how the different weapons you have and the
absolutely.
different abilities you can do with each I'm so excited I can't talk.
You guys continue. I have a knock on my door. Go
Okay.
ahead, continue.
But yeah, like I said, like this game is it's freshly new. It's definitely a breath of fresh air, and as far as
At least it's a breath of fresh air in the Call of Duty franchise.
that's true.
Because let's be as honest as we can about this. It's still Call of Duty.
Yeah.
It's and the guys at Call of Duty, they don't want to stray too far from Call of Duty roots. And so I still feel that as cool as it looks and as excited as we are to play it, there won't be anything new that we're going to see. In terms of like sci-fi or story-wise, like it's all going to be very uninspired, but it'll still be fun because it'll be different. Because it'll be Call of Duty style with sci-fi elements added onto it. So I think that that's why it's going to turn off a few people that like the franchise the way that it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also going to draw a lot of new people into. So I mean, if anything, what this game is going to do is just even things out.
Yeah, I think so. I think it will. Yeah, I think it will do well. I think it's.
It'll absolutely.
Yeah.
It'll absolutely do well.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be any problems with that. I just like the fact that they're taking it in a different direction this time around than they have in previous years. So,
I agree.
Definitely. So aside from the big shooters out of this, I think the interesting game that
Ooh, okay, I have returned.
yeah. So the interesting game, I think that, and here's the thing, this game has been, It came out, I think, in 2001, maybe? I don't know. It came out in the early aughts, early 2000s. And this game, regardless of what you say, still has millions of subscribers still playing the game.
Oh yeah.
And the game I'm talking about is the World of Warcraft Warlords of Draenor.
Oh, you're moving on.
um,
Wait. So we're moving on from
Call
the
of
whole
Duty.
like Advanced Warfare thing.
Yeah, moving on to World of Warcraft.
Okay, I just want to say that I'm excited that the game is taking a step forward. It seems trying something new, and like I hope that it catches on, because I think that the FPS genre needs to change, and it needs to like get out of this be like Call of Duty type of thing, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I just hope this game is like starts a revolution of like kind of like branching out from the norm.
Right. It's funny, like, this year hasn't been, because like every other year we had like a good number of shooters that come out. This year kind of has been less than that, actually, which is funny now I think about it. But yeah, I think that it's a good start. I think many indication. I think that shooters like Wolfenstein that came out this past year shows that you can have a good story and a good a good mechanics as well. But getting back to World of Warcraft, like I said, man, that game, it just keeps on giving. Like, for how many years it's been been around. And the new expansion is Warlords of Draenor. And it's a new area. Obviously, it's going to be level caps and race again, and there's going to be some new content to be there. It's interesting. I think that if you're Blizzard, at this point you have a pretty good amount of money from some of your games, to the fact where you can do expansions like this for a 10-year-old game and still come out with money in some capacity. And I'm just kind of astonished at the fact that this game has been going on for so long. And I remember.
Well, it definitely stands to say that this is the one game that's keeping them afloat, essentially, because due to the fact that people were so angry with StarCraft and so angry with Diablo 3 that they actually lost sales on those games. They lost profit on those games, and I think World of Warcraft is what's keeping Blizzard from going under.
That's true. That's true.
Wait, you mean like as far as like money wise goes? I mean, what they had. Well, I mean, despite the whole like market thing. Okay, go ahead, continue.
What I'm getting at is if they didn't have World of Warcraft, if they shut down the servers or something, and then they were like, now we got these two games coming out. We got these ones coming out, and people didn't like them as much as they did. Blizzard wouldn't be as big as they still are. I think last time I read, it was like 70% of their income comes from World of Warcraft. So that's why I was saying, like, if they didn't have World of Warcraft, they would.
You know that Blizzard is part of Activision now, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing
So
is,
I mean, like even then, like their biggest like cash cow is still World of Warcraft.
Yep.
Yeah, because like the thing is, like even though they're conjoined, I don't see Call of Duty like really, equal, like having enough firepower, enough money making to help both companies out. I think that what Blizzard has in terms of their IPs, given the fact that they did get backlash from Diablo 3 and StarCraft, they still made a good.
What kind of backlash did they get from StarCraft? I'm sorry.
The fact that the campaign was only Terran and didn't have all the other characters in it, and that you had to wait for them.
yeah.
And then people felt like
that pissed me off also.
People felt like that the way that the game was structured was not like StarCraft 1, and that it was too simplified and not as strategy based as it should have been. I didn't give a shit. I thought it was still a fun game, but This is exactly why I always play devil's advocate during these kind of conversations, because this is the kind of shit that I constantly hear on the internet. Is someone's always pissed off because it's not like how it used to be, or it's slightly different. Like, don't be surprised when the Halo Master Chief Collection comes out and you start hearing people go, well, I'm not playing it because it doesn't play like Halo 2.
Oh, well, no, I mean, the whole... No, because... I mean, they can't say that because it's fucking on the disc.
But they will.
Yeah,
they will say it.
That's the point, Ramen. It's like somebody will bitch about something, one way or another.
Swear,
like you can have the most,
will,
like the
well, yeah, no, I agree, no, I agree, but like seriously, I will. Oh man,
like somebody can have like the best ice cream in the world, but then like bitch about it like seconds. It's like none of sprinkles on this fucking cone.
It's that whole mentality of like the drug addict who goes, that last hit I had was so good, I want it again, and they never get that same high, so they're always chasing that high. It's that same exact mentality.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I understand because I'm that same way about ramen. Hence the name ramen.
That's great.
Another thing to point out though from Blizzard is like something I forgot to mention. This is a game actually I fucking love is Hearthstone, and how that's keeping helping them
Hearthstone
out.
is so good.
It is.
I've actually been wanting to play that game.
So
I had to stop. Because I was getting way too into it.
Oh man, I just downloaded like the expansion recently, and I started playing it. And I'm at a point where like, man, I need better cards. So I end up doing the thing that I thought I would never do. I bought booster packs. Yeah, that was cool. I like it. It's really freaking awesome. And that's another game I think that will help. And it's crazy. It's a free-to-play game, but like I think what's behind it right now, and the way that people are playing it, you know, competitively and non-competitively, I feel like when World of Warcraft, you know, dies off, I think that Hearthstone will pick up the slack for it.
I hope so.
Wait, isn't Blizzard supposed to be coming out with a mobile game?
Oh, a mobile game?
Or did it already?
I don't think so.
Let's find out. Internet.
I know they are working on a MOBA. Like they're called.
What the fuck was it? It was like something of the ancient. What the hell was it?
Oh, Heroes of the Storm.
No. It's like Heroes of something or like Legends of something or whatever.
Yeah.
Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, Heroes of the Storm. There you go.
Yeah. Which is funny because like they were kind of the first ones to have that MOBA style before anybody else did, and now kind of late to the party, but like yeah.
Well, no, well, MOBA started out as a mod for
Dota.
Warcraft 3.
Yeah.
Warcraft 3.
Yeah, that's how the whole thing started.
Yeah.
That's how Dota came about, was through Warcraft 3.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a mod, and then became its like own fucking phenomena.
Definitely. Well, yeah, I think at least in the short term, like Blizzard is pretty well off. If they can do conventions like every other year, I think they're pretty well off. That's a good indication.
Yeah.
I just want to throw this out here before we continue the conversation, but going on Blizzard's page, trying to find out what that game was just Heroes of the Storm. I also found out that they made, in 1994, a beat-em-up called The Death and Return of Superman.
What?
Yeah.
What? Really?
They made it.
No fucking way. Oh shit.
There you go. There's information you didn't have before.
And
the more you know. Ding 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 dong.
And no one's half the battle. G.I. Joe.
We're old.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, man.
I'm old. Let's not throw. Well, how old are you, Ramen? 26?
28.
28.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I take it back. You're in the same category as I am with
fucking old.
The old.
Yeah.
Dude, no, we're old. We're old, man. I'm fucking 27.
God.
Yeah.
Anyways, so welcome to the Old Timers Podcast here on missionstartpodcast.com, where we're going to sit and complain about kids on our lawns.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. We have the perfect angle or the perfect view of talking about games in general because we're still in the market of people who want to play new games and get excited about games. But we're also the people that grew up with the NES and the Super Nintendo. Those were our starter
The
consoles.
golden age.
Yeah.
Right. Those were. We have this interesting viewpoint where we go like, I've been around. I've seen shit go down with video games. Like,
Yeah,
I've seen.
and we could smell bullshit a mile away.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We have lived through the Neo Geo. We have lived through the Dreamcast. We have lived
Look,
through the
My
fucking
Tamagotchi
Engage.
still lives. Okay.
We have lived through all of that bullshit.
Yeah, man. We got
Game
worse,
Gear.
We got worse stuff, man. We got that shit on lock.
Okay. So should we move on?
Yes. Alright, so the other
Because
game.
it's like making me sad talking about our old age. So yes.
Yeah. So I'm gonna throw this out there to you, Greg, because I know you've been a big fan of the Lego games. But like, what's your opinion on Lego Batman 3?
I think it's a great idea. The fact that they're going to be first off, it's really interesting because Lego Batman now has become the DC Universe Lego game.
Really?
And they can't, because of Lego Batman 2, they can't just now call it Lego DC Superheroes. They have to keep with the Batman theme, which goes to also prove that Batman is clearly the best DC character. Just saying.
Oh God. Don't start that. Oh my God.
You know it's true. Well, yeah.
Look.
I think it's true. Yeah.
He is my DC character.
Batman is DC's cash cow. I would say that.
Yeah.
Well, it's a conversation for another time.
Yeah.
But I think in regards to why Lego Batman is the now DC superhero game is because Batman is the most popular character. He has become more popular than Superman, in my view. That being said,
I mean, I don't think you can argue about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's not an opinion. That's straight. Well, I guess it is an opinion, but it's not a personal opinion.
It's an
Anyway.
opinion. We'll just go with that. Because like, okay, because if you were to state that as fact, like the next con that we are at, Greg, like I wouldn't be able to fucking help you. Okay, like I am skinny and fragile. Like I wouldn't be able to save you.
I'll fight a guy. Okay. You want to come at me with your Batman? Anyway, what makes this game so interesting to me is that they are going to have to go into space, but the game has over 150 characters from the DC universe. The thing about the DC universe is that most of the characters, and maybe not most, but a lot of the characters take place in space. It's interesting to me that they continued with they continued with Lego Batman instead of just calling it Lego DC Universe. But all of that being said, I really, really, really like the Lego Batman games. I am really looking forward to this one, especially due to the fact that because in Lego Batman 2, the primary thing was that Joker and Lex Luthor team up, so Batman and Superman have to team up. And it wasn't until the end of the game that you got to play as the other Lego superheroes. They were there, they existed, you just didn't get to play as them. In this one, however, it's going to be constant. You're going to play as other heroes. Batman will be there almost all of the time, but you get to play as the other heroes. And that's really fucking cool because I really like Green Lantern. I really like Martian Manhunter. The other ones are okay, I guess. But there's a lot of superheroes that are going to be in there, like Zatanna, who I'm interested to see how they're going to have her play. Green Arrow is going to be there, which is rad. I just read here that apparently the 3 Green Lanterns that are going to be in it are Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart, and Kilowog, which is rad.
That's awesome.
Did you say Jon Stewart, like Daily Show?
No.
Sorry.
You know the black guy that was a Green Lantern?
I don't care about DC to tell you the truth, so I mean I don't know.
Okay. Well, there was
But go ahead.
There are 5 human Green Lanterns. The first one was Alan Scott. Yeah, Alan Scott. The second one was Hal Jordan, which is probably the most famous one. He was the one that was in the newest movie that came out, and he was also voiced by Nathan Fillion, so he's the most famous Green Lantern. Then there's no. Then there's Guy Gardner, who's like this dickbag. He's fucking hilarious, but because he's a dickbag. Then there's Kyle Rayner, who was an artist and would create the most imaginative things using the Green Lantern powers. He's probably the like second favorite out of everybody that I ever talked to. And then there's Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart is very down to earth, and he's very like business oriented. Like there's no fucking around with Jon Stewart. He almost shows no emotion. But then the other side to that is that Kilowog is going to be a character to play in the game, and Kilowog is one of my favorite Green Lanterns. He's an alien guy who kind of trains Hal Jordan. He's always teamed up with Hal Jordan. Like he's cool. So I'm excited. Yeah, I'm looking at the list of characters here, and it just fucking makes me excited. Lucius Fox is going to be in the game. That's interesting. Because he's a character that was, as far as I know,
Morgan
created
Freeman?
for the movies.
Morgan Freeman.
Nope. He's a character in the comics. He was created in 1979. Well, there you go.
Well, I know, but I'm saying, but he in the like as far as like in like mainstream media, he's Morgan Freeman.
Yes.
Batman. Okay.
Batman.
Batman.
Where are the drugs?
I am really looking forward to this one, and I will absolutely play it. The last Lego game though kind of pissed me off a lot. It was the Lego Hobbit. Because here's what pissed me off about it.
Children.
You buy a $60, it was $50. No matter what console you bought it for, it's $50, and you play the first two movies. That's it. You don't get to play the third one because the third one doesn't come out until the third movie comes out as DLC. Mm-hmm. What's worse is you have to buy it.
Oh,
that is bullshit.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So that kind of pissed me off. But it was also one of those things where it's like, if I look at how many pros the Lego series has versus the cons, which there aren't many, like it's the pros still highly outweigh. So I'll happily take that one situation and move on to the next thing. On that note, I just noticed that one of the playable characters is Adam West. I don't know how, but he is.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Oh man, I want to see him do the bad 2C just because.
There's like a bunch of different Batmans you get to play. This is rad as shit. I'm excited as fuck for this game.
Just out of curiosity, is Batman what's his name? Terry, Batman Beyond, in it?
Ooh, I don't
Terry
see him. Let's go to T's real quick. Terry McGinnis. Nope, he's not in it. Balls. However, Batman of Zuin Ra is there.
Oh, cool.
And I fucking don't know who he is. I've never heard of him before, but there's a picture here on Wikipedia about him. Whatever. Moving on. No, the Batmans that it says that it has are classic Batman, Bruce Wayne, Batman Zuin Ra, Adam West Batman. There's Damian Wayne. I don't know if he'll be Robin or Batman. I'm probably Robin. He might just be Damian Wayne and just straight up be like a League of Assassins badass. So.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm very excited for this game, by the way. Like, god damn, Hush is in the game. Hush is gonna be in the game. Are you kidding me? That's amazing.
I can see I can see your burn from here, Greg. So yeah.
God, it's lifted up my table. It hurts.
So other games that are coming out in November that is noteworthy to talk about is both Assassin's Creed Rogue and Unity. Now, Assassin's Creed Rogue is coming for PS3 and Xbox 360, and Assassin's Creed Unity is coming out for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. My thing is I guess they released both games on the same day because you got one game for the last generation, you got a game for this generation, and one's more of a single player focused game, and one is more of a multiplayer focused game. And I feel like it's just weird. I feel like maybe that it might confuse some people when they try to go buy Assassin's Creed on that day when it comes out. Um, without doing research and whatnot, and
Well,
go on.
go ahead. Okay. Okay. Now, as far as like the Assassin's Creed series goes, I have like never like gone through from like beginning to end like any game of this series, but seeing this and then like hearing about it and like reading up about it, I smell bullshit. Okay? This is a fucking like marketing ploy. Like this is
Oh yeah,
something
I wouldn't doubt it.
to it's just basically money. It's like, okay, you could have probably fucking included this shit like
Oh, I see what you're
into
saying.
Unity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you know what? You know, the thing could have been like, okay, like you get Unity and then like, hey, like next month or the month afterwards, it's DLC.
I see what I see what you're saying.
Because I think people are gonna get confused as fuck, and they're going to be mad.
I want to agree with you for the most part.
Mm.
However, I think that because Rogue is being made by Ubisoft Sofia, which I don't know where I don't know where that is exactly.
Okay, go ahead, go
Um,
ahead.
they, God, I think they made another. I think they made that Assassin's Creed game with the black chick. I can't think of her fucking name.
Oh yeah, it was Assassin's Creed Liberation? It was called?
Liberation. Yeah, I think they made Liberation. Now, as I agree with you, Ramen, that coming out with so many Assassin's Creed games like back to back like this and just trying to make as much money as they can from the Assassin's Creed series is absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's as much bullshit as that. I think that because Unity is being made by the same people who made Black Flag, and they did a really good job with Black Flag.
Okay,
The
but hold on. Well, you know what? I'll just let you get to your point, and then let me know when you're done.
all right.
Go ahead. Because like from like what you're saying right now, I have a point, but I don't want to like be a dick. So go ahead.
No, go ahead. If you have a point, the only point I was making was that Unity and Rogue are being made by two different companies, and that Unity is being made by the same people who did Black Flag. And because the
Mhm.
game sells so well, I have faith that Unity will actually be a really good game.
Mhm.
I have not played 4 yet, but from after playing the main series, technically haven't played any of them. I've watched them being played. I did play them to kind of get the controls
Mhm.
down, to get an idea of the controls, but whatever.
Yep.
Um, like 1, 2, Brotherhood Revelations, and 3 were all really good games.
Mhm.
And from what I understand, again, haven't played. I have it here in my room. I should probably play it soon, but I have Assassin's Creed 4, and I hear that it is an amazing game.
Yeah.
The fact that Unity is being made by that same team, and that Rogue is being made by a different team entirely, does not garner a bad game to me. And I
Yeah.
don't think
Okay.
because also I should mention this, that Rogue takes place during the 7 Years' War, whereas Unity takes place during the French Revolution. So I don't
Mhm.
think that because in that regard that they will be DLC. I don't think that'll happen. If anything,
Um.
if hang on, if
Okay.
anything, Rogue will be a like not DLC, but Rogue will be a like down the road downloadable game entirely for the Xbox One and
Mhm.
PS4. Because right now it's only on the PS3 and 360.
Mhm.
But Unity is the next generation.
Yeah.
Um, all right, so go ahead with your point.
Okay. Okay. So I mean, there's like two things that I want to like bring up. Okay. So like one, um, as far as like Rogue being like just say like like I'm stuttering. I can't get this out. As far as Rogue being a can you guys help me out here? DLC. There we go. Okay.
Uh,
So as far as Rogue being DLC, I'm not saying that like that it's going to be. I'm saying that it maybe should be, just depending on like how much content is going to be in Rogue aside from like Unity, right? And then the point that you were making as far as like, okay, well, Unity is being made by like this team and they've done such a good job before. I mean, that that sort of point matters to people like us, where we are hardcore into it and we will research a game, even games that we don't play, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel that that point doesn't mean anything to the casual people or the people who don't follow it as deeply as like we do. They just pick up a game because it's the newest one and like whatever. You know what I mean? That's why I think it's kind of fucked up in a way that they're doing like Rogue Unity.
I hear what you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
and um, it is a. I mean, to the average person who wants to play the newest game, and they go ask, you know, average Joe at GameStop or Best Buy and ask them, I want to play a new Assassin's Creed game, and like, okay, which one? And then they're like, what? There's two new ones.
Yeah. They're gonna be like what? Like what are you talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be like, well, you need to buy Rogue for the 360, but then you need to go and buy Unity for the Xbox One, even
Right.
though there's a possibility that Rogue will end up just being DLC or
Right.
being ported
Well,
over.
I was like, you keep saying DLC, but I don't think it'll be. DLC would be added content, and I don't think that
Okay,
Rogue
okay,
can be
okay.
added content because of the story
Okay.
is so drastically different.
Do you think?
Okay. Well then, okay. So let me word it differently then. Instead of DLC, maybe a port.
Yeah, I think absolutely Rogue will be a port, but I also feel that Ubisoft is trying to do, because Unity, first off, Unity is a huge game. It's all of France first. It's all of France during the French Revolution, and it's the first time that you've been able to play as four assassins together in a story element. That that is a huge. I mean, that takes a lot of processing power, something that the Xbox 360 can't do. From what I understand, they actually tried doing that with Brotherhood, and what they ended up having to do was just do the whole like like you can you getting assassins under your belt and then using them for whatever you need them to do.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's just because the Anvil engine can't, or the Anvil Next engine, I should say, can't do it couldn't do that on the 360. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
that Rogue will absolutely be a subpar game. I feel that,
Yeah.
and in no way, in shape, or form am I arguing that Rogue will not be a subpar game. And I think the only reason that it will be a subpar game is because Ubisoft wanted to release a game for the people who have not been able to yet get an Xbox One or a PS4. They wanted to make something for them as well. And to me, that's a good thing. I mean, that's not in any
I
way,
mean, yeah.
in my eyes, a bad thing.
Okay.
I just feel that
Okay.
I don't know. I feel that Ubisoft is trying to do something here that makes them have more of an audience, or keeps their audience without pissing anybody
Yeah.
off. Because imagine
Yeah.
if they just released Unity on the new
Okay.
consoles and nothing else.
Mhm.
Well,
That would.
Well, they are. I mean,
Well,
Well, no,
okay,
I'm
well,
saying,
I mean,
imagine they weren't releasing
they are.
Rogue at all. Well,
Okay,
imagine
but
if they
okay.
weren't releasing Rogue at all.
okay, I see what
Okay.
you're saying.
Okay, well, I mean, but the whole thing about it is, okay, I'm like, this is kind of just like what I'm saying. It's like, okay, cool. Like, okay, you're trying to do something for everybody who, doesn't have an Xbox, well, a Xbox One, Xbone, whatever the hell you want to call it, okay? But it's just like I'm saying, like I feel like the people who are going to buy this, right? They're going to be like, okay, well, now I have an Xbox One, and now I can play Unity finally because I couldn't afford it. And then all of a sudden, probably within the next year or something like that, probably like middle of summer, like just before summer, to be like, guess what? Rogue's coming up for the Xbox One. And it's going to be like, well, fuck, I just got them like spending my money.
I don't.
and I
Well,
could have
if
saved
that's
my
the case,
money,
that's-
got the
that's
Xbox One.
That's 8 months down the road, though, Ramen. I mean, if that's the scenario you're using, that's 8 months down the road. If summer is when they release Rogue on the Xbox One and PS4, that's a long ways away. That's, I mean, that like if this is a situation that happens like right before Christmas they release Rogue on the Xbox One and PS4, then yeah, your argument is valid. But
yeah.
from my perspective, I don't see them doing that anytime soon. I really do feel that Rogue it's a standalone game, and it'll have hours of content as the other Assassin's Creeds do, but I don't think it'll be as well fleshed out as Unity. And I really do feel that them releasing a game for the market, like, cause like there's a lot of games that have come out on the Xbox One that people on the 360 don't get, they can't get. Randy Pitchford of Randy Pitchford of Gearbox, he was actually pissed off about that. He was like, "Why are you going to totally segregate an audience that had the money to buy the brand new console? Like that's not fucking fair." So that's why
Because it's
the pre-sequel.
I mean, I don't know. Oh man, like we could argue about that point, like right there, because it's just like, I mean, it is a new generation of like consoles, and like I feel like, okay, I'm in the like camp where I am part of the like last gen, right? But
Right.
I feel that once the new console like gen comes out, like support for the last one should end within like a year or two.
Okay.
For me. Okay, this
okay,
is me. This is the way I see it. Okay, this is the way I see it. All right. Okay. Now, it would suck for me because I wouldn't be able to play Destiny. I wouldn't be able to play Titanfall. Right. But I mean, that's just the way like I think about it is. Okay, because when you look at from Super Nintendo to N64, right? When you look at fucking N64 to GameCube, how long were games coming out?
Do you want the true answer to that? Because the
I mean,
Super
okay,
Nintendo.
no. I mean major titles. I don't mean like fucking, Mystical Ninja Goemon 5 or like what the fuck. You know what I mean? I'm talking about major shit. I'm talking about like Mario Kart, Super Mario Brothers.
let me say four things.
Okay. Forward, goddamn, all right.
Yeah, because
Let's go.
I was thinking about.
Oh, we should have this argument some other time. Fuck. Okay.
So one, the question I want to put out to you guys, and after I give out my phone, I'll let you guys talk it out. Do you think Ubisoft is cannibalizing itself with releasing both games on the same day? But also, do you think that this is actually my number two? Do you think that because they're coming out on the same day as Halo, like they feel like they're gonna be dwarfed from the Master Chief Collection?
Absolutely not.
Well, you know what?
I'm
You know,
not thinking, guys.
actually,
I'm not
okay.
thinking, there's
Oh
two
my
more.
god.
There's two
Oh
more.
my god. So much things I want to say right now because actually it fucking hurts them so bad. It's kind of Ubisoft kicking themselves in the nuts. Now that I look at it, go ahead.
You want to know my argument about that, Ramen?
Okay, yeah.
I truly believe, and if I'm wrong about this, I'm wrong about this. I've been
Okay.
wrong before, so I don't mind being wrong again.
Okay.
I believe that Assassin's Creed Unity will sell more than the Halo Master Chief Collection.
Suck my penis.
Are you kidding me?
Okay, no. Okay, no. Actually, you know what? Okay, look. Okay. Okay. The only reason why that I think that is fucking possible is because they're releasing 2 games on, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different platforms, and Master Chief Collection is only coming out on 1. I guarantee if they don't fucking beat them, they're at least gonna be right on their fucking heels.
Well, I'm also referring
And
to
for
I'm
one
referring
game
to one
on-
console. I'm referring
Yeah.
to Unity just on the Xbox One.
No,
I believe
fuck
that.
Nope. Nope, Greg. I'm sorry. I will not be a dick about something, and I will not sit here and like say like nope to something, but I have to say nope to that.
Ramen,
Because-
get passionate, man. I'm not going to be offended unless like you're...
Okay, because Halo made this fucking console. Halo made Xbox and
I don't
Microsoft.
disagree.
Okay,
Yeah.
every fucking buddy who owns an Xbox has played Halo. All right.
I don't disagree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Halo Master Chief Collection.
However, Robin-
Xbox One, it's done. Halo Master Chief Collection is gonna fucking bury Unity, like on that fucking day. And if it does, I'll fucking eat a ghost pepper. Okay, I don't give a fuck. All right, I'm that fucking confident.
Okay, so
all right.
put down. You've already taken a bet for being kicked in the nuts.
Yeah.
Now we got a ghost pepper now.
No, absolutely. Ramen and I, we live close enough to each other where we will find a place, and whoever loses that bet, if Unity sells more copies on the Xbox One, then Ramen has to eat a ghost pepper, and vice versa.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And you can see that on Mission Star Podcast YouTube. Hey. Yeah.
That'd be great. My last question actually was one I put out there, and it's something they were talking about in terms of like consoles. Like the new next generation comes out, and everybody moves on from the old to the new. The thing though is like back in the day, I would agree with you, but because the past 10 years of PS3, Xbox 360, and I guess to some degree the Wii, like there are so many people who had that console for so many years that have so many games that came out for it, and the problem is that with these new consoles that have been out for the past not even a full year actually, like there are games out for now, but there are not enough games to. I mean, there are enough at this point, but there isn't enough when it started out to say, oh, I can justify this $400 purchase for a console, and then realize, oh, wait, what games can I get for it? And majority of the games that are coming out right now for it are rehashes of old games from the PS3 or even Xbox 360 to their newer consoles because they don't have enough content to keep feeding, or their games that they're waiting for hasn't came out yet. So I would agree with you back then, but in today's standards and impact that 360 and PS3 had over the last decade, like it's going to be a long time. I personally, I feel like Xbox 360 and PS3 are going to stick around for at least another 2-3 years, in my opinion.
Well, a lot of developers, I should say this real quick. A lot of developers,
I fucking hope.
Producers.
I hope that isn't the case. Because it's like well then it's just kind of like, well then what is the point of getting a brand new console if they're gonna just release look, it would be bad business wise and marketing wise the way I think about it, okay? Because it's like why the fuck release shit on an older console when you can have people and give a an incentive to sell your brand new product, which is the reason why you made it in the first place.
Because
you made the new console to make profit, right?
Yeah.
The Xbox One is what, like $400. Okay, so why support a console that is now you could buy used for what, like $100?
The incentive is that the better graphics and it's the promise of games down the road, and everybody join it in eventually. It's gonna take a while. It's not gonna be immediate.
Yeah.
So this is how it is. So.
I mean, it's kind of a good thing for us gamers if they kept on, putting things on the PS3 or the 360. Like it's good for us gamers, but company-wise, profits-wise, business-wise, it's not good for them.
Yeah,
I think.
In the long run, it will be. Give it some time. Eventually, everybody will move on to the next-gen consoles, and
Ooh.
Eventually.
Okay,
sorry,
Greg.
I just found, because while you guys were talking about that, I went to a website called VGCharts.com that shows sales of games through over the years. And I looked up 2007, which was when Assassin's Creed came out. It's also the same year that Halo 3 came out. Now, Halo 3 sold 2 million more copies than Assassin's Creed did.
But this is Assassin's Creed 1, though.
However, Assassin's Creed sales have increased. And Halos have gone down.
Halo has, I know. I know
so, this could be...
this.
This could be...
Okay, no.
I mean,
No, Greg.
No,
Greg,
like, here's the
Greg,
thing
you don't
about
understand.
that. No,
This is the re-fucking birth of Halo. This is...
But Ramen, it's games
like
that
I
everyone
said,
has already played.
This is the fucking love letter. This is.
I don't disagree. Look,
People,
man.
like literally, this is 343 getting on their knees and like pulling down your pants of like every Halo fan and being like, pull them out, just pull it out. I'll just fucking do whatever you want, you know. And just like this is what Master Chief Collection is, okay. And I'm telling you, it's just gonna sell more.
Okay.
This is.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I don't know, man. I think I honestly here, I'm gonna look at the numbers of Halo Combat Evolved anniversary real quick.
Okay.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah. Anyways,
Oh God.
other games that we want to point out that November, I think will make a big impact during this avalanche of games coming out. Now, Far Cry 4 is an interesting one. Greg, did you play last Far Cry? I remember you hearing that you played Far Cry 3 or the expansion that it had.
I played Far Cry 3, the fucking Blood Dragon. I didn't play the actual game though.
So, Far Cry 4. Now, here's the thing about the series. Now, it's kind of been interesting the fact that the direction they've gone. Like the original Far Cry was like a lot of exploration. The graphics were always pretty, and like it was a lot of weapons you would find or that you would use in the game. Far Cry 2, it was kind of the return of that, but it was more linear. It was held in Africa, and some of the missions were not the best. I heard they got like kind of mixed, kind of meh. And then they really brought it back with Far Cry 3 when it kind of like it was over the top, just kind of like zany action flick type of deal. And Far Cry 4 is kind of the same deal. I've seen the trailers, including freaking animals that can attack for you, and they can take a rocket launcher to the face. And
Well, the other Thad ring, Jesus Christ. The other rad thing about Far Cry 4 is that if let's say Ramen's playing the game, right?
Oh yeah,
and he's on stream.
Yeah.
He's on stream and he's like, "Hey, I might need some help in this next scene. Do you mind hopping online and play?" Like, yeah, sure. Guess what I can do? I can play on his game without having the fucking disc.
Yeah, is that,
What the fuck? Are you serious?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a real thing. Is that PS4 only thing though?
Oh
No,
my
it's-
God, my ears just like
it's-
perked up like so.
It's next
fucking high right now.
generation.
Like, whoop.
exclusive.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
I always figured that was like a PS4 thing, but
No, I mean a lot of these producers now are like, the PS4 is clearly selling more consoles than the Xbox One, so they're gonna. It's like Destiny. They're gonna promote the PS4 as more than the Xbox One just because of the sales.
right, definitely. Yeah, it's a cool thing that they have. It's a cool feature. It gives you how many hours like for one key? Because they give you 10. Like, is it 2 hours? Like for each key, you can like have your buddy join your party in your game.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Okay.
I didn't know there were keys involved.
Yeah, so the way it works is for Far Cry 4, you're given 10 keys. They name something else, but it's generally just keys. Basically invites for friends on your friends list to spend a certain amount of time in the game. And I believe it's 2 hours, so like you have 10 keys. So technically, you and your friend can play the full game if it's 20 hours with the keys that they're giving you. And which is fine. I find that hilarious, but it is a feature that they've been touting, and it's interesting to see exactly where they go with it. As far as the game-wise itself, it's over-the-top zany bullshit stuff happening. It looks really fun.
Oh. Yeah, I just read because it said I just read the last little paragraph on the wiki right here. It's absolutely wow. I thought it was just straight up like play a section of the game.
Nah, you get like was it 2 hours? Was that correct, or is that something else?
So wait,
Well,
you get
even-
2 hours of the full game?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's exactly what it reads.
That's
the game is
fucking
being
awesome.
the game is being designed to allow players to invite friends to play cooperatively, even if they do not own the game. To do this, eligible players will receive 10 invites, which they can send out to said friends who will be able to download a version of the game and play alongside the host player on a trial basis.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's cool, but that's also
That
something
is
I wasn't
smart.
expecting.
That is fucking smart for them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because like fucking like I mean I the last Far Cry I played was 2. So this one it's just like, all right, like I don't have the game, but if like my friend's like, hey, help me, but I don't have the game. Fuck it, you can play this game for 2 hours with me. We can have fun together. It's just like, really? And then they might
And then
make me want to buy it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. Oh my God. Well,
It's fucking genius.
it is genius.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit of a hook and reel situation, which usually I'm like, that smells of bullshit. But this is
No,
actually
but,
like a smart gimmick.
it like smells of bullshit, right? In like a way, but what other game would give you fucking 2 hours free to go play with your friend to play co-op?
Right.
No, I completely agree. That's why
You
like
know what I mean?
I'm like that's why it's smart. Like it smells of bullshit because it's definitely like again it's that whole lure and reel in and hook and sink and all that shit. But it's a
cool.
smart one.
Yeah, it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about it, and it's mainly the case with some of these other games. I think Far Cry 4, I think that it will draw enough tension, but I do think it's gonna be overlooked by Dragon Age Inquisition on that same day.
I couldn't disagree with you more.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a really
Well,
tough. It's a really tough time during this time.
I mean,
because there's a lot
like-
of there's a lot of people or a lot of companies that are releasing games on the same day, or
Yeah.
they've
I
delayed
mean,
it until this time of the year, and it's like whatever they
Yeah.
get, they stuck with.
Well, I mean, I think as far as it goes, is like you're going to have your like hardcore shooter market is going to go Far Cry 4 no matter what. Dragon Age is going to be something for your RPG enthusiasts and your Dragon Age fans.
Right.
You know?
I don't think in any way, shape, or form is Dragon Age gonna sell or outsell Far Cry 4 and by any measure.
I think it will actually. I think it will. I'll tell it.
You want to do the Ghost
You
Pepper
think-
shot?
No.
So then it looks like you'd probably be eating like 2 fucking ghost peppers. Sure.
I'm good. I'm just saying that I think that Dragon Age will outsell Far Cry 4. I think that I think for a lot of people, especially me, because I've never played the Dragon Age Origins, and I've heard people didn't like Dragon Age 2 or it wasn't well received.
That's exactly why I'm saying what I'm saying is because Far Cry 3 was so popular and so good that the distaste towards the Dragon Age franchise turned off a lot of people. But Far Cry 3 brought in a lot of new people. So I think that Far Cry 4, that's why I think Far Cry 4 is going to sell more than Dragon Age 3. Plus, it's a shooter versus a long RPG that you have to do a lot. Like, the fucking game might as well be a goddamn visual novel. It's insane how much talking is in it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you got me there. I'm not gonna bring up that. I just feel like I think Dragon Age Inquisition is gonna be. I don't know. It's just a feeling, but I felt like what they've shown is getting those people who dislike 2, and kind of addressing those issues in Inquisition and saying like, look, we fixed the problems that were in Dragon Age 2, or to bring them back to what it originally was, and hope you like the game. And so far, I've seen it actually looks really good. It's it's a waiting time to see type of game, but you may be right, Greg, the fact that people who love Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 3 was awesome, that it probably might outsell Dragon Age, but I doubt it, in my opinion. We'll see. And the one game in the middle right there, I mean, here's the thing.
Which one?
Escape Dead Island, basically Dead Island 2, I think. But like,
Fucking fuck Dead Island.
Like,
That fucking game.
yeah, like, here's the thing, like...
The best thing about that game was its fucking trailer, and that was it.
Yeah, like, here's the thing, like, I'm surprised they even made a sequel.
So buggy.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, Dead Island was okay.
Well, this is kind of like the second, third Dead Island game, because it was Dead Island Riptide, and then now it's Escape Dead Island.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it didn't really deserve another sequel, to be honest.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely don't care about the Dead Island series.
Yep.
Like that first trailer that they had with the backwards girl getting turned into a zombie, like that was cool.
Yeah.
I like that trailer. That's about all I like from Dead Island.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Let's see. The coolest thing probably about Escape from Dead Island, or whatever the fuck it's called, is going to be that Jack Black is doing a voice in the game.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
That'll probably be the most interesting part of that game.
Yeah. If you're a Jack Black fan, yeah.
I like Jack Black. That guy's fucking amazing.
In small bits and parts. In some parts.
Okay.
Depends.
I'm a fan of Jack
Tenacious
Black, but that's
D.
just because I
Yeah.
love Tenacious D.
Yep. Wonder Boy. I am actually gonna play that on my cast tonight. I'm gonna start off my show.
We should do a sing along, Ramen.
Oh God. I need to get drunk for that one.
Right.
Well, then I'll do a sing along. I can't hear it, but I'll do it.
Okay.
I think the only two other games, the other games I could find that are worth talking about in November are Pokemon, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and Persona.
Yup, that's gonna sell a shit ton of copies.
Yeah,
God
that.
damn it is.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is, and that and Little Big Planet 3. I was talking about
Yes.
Sonic U, but I feel like it's gonna be a cool RPG, but it's gonna be very niche in terms of what it is because of the lore and it's more like a game for the fans than anything else. I'm not saying it's gonna be bad or anything. I'm just saying it's not gonna be as picked up on as the other two.
Yeah.
So Pokemon. Okay, so
Okay, like
when correct
like
me if I'm wrong.
fucking Pokemon. Like that's kind of like all you have to say, kind of.
Yeah,
It's like
okay, correct me if I'm wrong. The last Pokemon game that came out was Pokemon X
X and Y.
That was
Mhm.
was that last year or was that 3 years ago?
No, I think that was
I don't think it was
last
2012.
year. I think it's only been out for a year.
Yeah.
Cause my girlfriend Ember, she is like really into like Pokemon. Like she goes to tournaments. We watch tournaments together. We talk about Pokemon strategy sometimes, you know. But I think X and Y has only been out for about a year.
Right. Okay. So it's gonna sell a lot of money. There's no doubt.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just.
Absolutely.
I mean, you just can't really say much about it. It's just like okay.
X and Y
It
came
is-
out last year and sold 11.6 million copies
Mhm.
in North America.
I'm just curious. Did Pokemon Omega Red and Alpha Sapphire come out already in Japan yet, or is it like a semi-ish?
You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
But I know that like Ruby and Sapphire, as far as I know, Ruby and Sapphire is kind of like the Halo 2 and the Smash Brothers Melee of Pokemon games.
Okay, so I just clicked on the link to it. Okay, so this is interesting. Pokemon Alpha, Sapphire, and Ruby Red are going to be coming
Omega
out.
Ruby.
Omega Ruby, my bad.
Mhm.
Are coming out on the same day, both in North America and in Japan.
Ooh.
Oh, I was like, of course
Usually-
they're coming out on the same day because
usually-
they don't.
Yeah, you. Okay, no. I get what you're saying, but usually they get it overseas. I think like a week early because
Yeah.
I know
Right,
X
no.
and Y came out like a couple weeks early.
Yeah.
Right. What I was getting at was I was hoping that he would finish the sentence with, they're coming out on the same day as Japan and North America. Because I was like, well, yeah, the two separate games are going to come out on the same day. That makes sense.
It's 4 games. Yeah.
You know, it is interesting the fact that they're going to be released on the same day in both major countries. Because usually, like we said, like Japan usually gets it first, like a couple weeks prior maybe something that Nintendo is saying that maybe Pokemon. I don't know. That's weird. I'm not sure what exactly you can look into, but like what? It's interesting to see the fact that Nintendo considers both Japan and US, I guess, in a way.
Equal.
Yeah, not really. One will get it earlier than the next.
Yeah,
It's
one
like,
as like one is more important than the other.
right, right.
Yeah.
It's
What
interesting.
it is.
Depending which games it is. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna sell. You know what? Shit, that's gonna sell a ton of copies in both Japan and the U.S. on the same day. God damn, that's gonna.
You know, it is, and like looking at this list now, as far as like the like best timing of any of these games that come out, Pokemon has the best timing, and so does Advanced Warfare. Those two both have the best timings because
Oh, when's
Halo, Assassin's Creed come out same time. Far Cry, Dragon Age comes out same time as hold on. Far Cry, Dragon Age, Little Big Planet come out same time. Master Chief Collection, the two Assassin's Creed games come out same day.
Yeah.
Advanced Warfare, there isn't much like that's like really
literally
major
a week
on that day.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and that's like a week away. Ruby and Sapphire remake, it's like a week away from Far Cry pretty much. Yeah. And it's Black Friday, and there isn't anything else that's there to kind of like give it, you know.
When's Black Friday? It's on November.
The 28th, November 28th.
Oh shit! Damn.
Yeah.
That's perfect. That's
So
really good.
I mean, those two have like really good slots in the entire month, and they're not really competing with anything too harsh on that same day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, besides, let's see, Ruby and Sapphire is competing with what? Project Cars, which is like a very niche market.
Yeah.
Advanced Warfare is competing with Citizens of Earth and Disney Planes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, man. And then the last one I'm gonna just briefly touch on is just Little Big Planet 3. Now, okay, I was surprised that there was another Big Planet being made because I know the guys who used to work on it were working on something else. I didn't know like another company was working on it, and I was like, holy shit, it's another Little Big Planet. Man, when I was watching Giant Bomb talking about this, like I think it's best said is just like do I feel bad for not liking this game? Because it's a really charming and really like one of those kind of like Minecraft where you get to create your own thing to do really cool shit. But like I don't know. It's not really catching on as others you would think. Like it's cool for like about for a short time, but not like for a long period. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know why. I feel like this game should be more popular than it is now. So I don't know. Yeah, but like thoughts on Little Planet 3? Like, what do you guys think?
I mean, like, as far as I understand is that, I mean, like, I personally, like, I haven't played through it, but, like, every time I go to a friend's house and they've had it, I've had a blast playing some of the, like, custom stuff that's came out in the actual game, like, the, like, little bit that I've played of it, and, like, I've had a blast playing it, and from what I understand, is that it has a great support for its custom games that come out. So I mean, if Little Big Planet 3 is more of that, and they're adding co-op with like what, I think it's like 4-player co-op this time, and like every single character is different. They have their own special thing that like they can do. So they're kind of expanding on the gameplay that's like already solid. I mean, I just think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't know.
I have no ill will towards that franchise at all, and I think that
I mean, let's just kind of be honest. If you're like a dick about Little Big Planet and you completely hate it, then you're probably a dick.
Yeah, you probably hate good things in life, like cheese covered omelets. I mean,
and tacos.
And you probably hate tacos.
And ramen.
You or the dish?
both.
All right, yeah. I'll agree with that.
Before we move on to the last month, just picks for which games you're excited for in November. Ramen, you can go first.
Okay. Advanced Warfare Master Chief Collection is going to be like number one, no matter what, okay? But let's see. Master Chief Collection is number one. Number two would be Advanced Warfare. After that would be Little Big Planet 3. And then Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. And last one, I would probably have to say Lego Batman.
Okay. Cool. For me, oh shit, I just realized, I think it might have been a game that I just overlooked. Okay, I don't know, there's nothing on this one. Okay, never mind. There might have been, no, I saw there came an Echo, and I was thinking, like, is that the one indie game that showed off this past E3? So, I don't know, it might have been up. But anyways, my picks for November is Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I would say Assassin's Creed Unity. If I had an Xbox, it would be Halo, the Master Chief Collection. An Xbox One at that. But outside of that, I'm interested in Dragon Age Inquisition, Far Cry 4, and I think that's about it. Yeah, that's about it.
Hatsune Miku, really? You're going to completely ignore the waifu?
Yeah, man. I'm not.
Oh, shit.
I'm not all about that life. I have waifus, but she's not my wife.
You're a goddamn animal.
What about you, Greg? What are your picks?
Yeah, Advanced Warfare, Assassin's Creed Unity, Lego Batman 3, the Adventure Time game coming out, Secret of the Nameless Kingdom. Maybe Pokemon and this is like, and again, Ramen's gonna fucking hate me. The Halo Chief Master, that collection,
the Halo Chief Master Collection. Sorry, go ahead.
Hey, Ramen. The Halo collection with the Chief of Masters. It doesn't excite me as much as it does you, because I've played all 4 games multiple times, so I don't need to play through them again.
Okay, so you see on Facebook, there's this button that says unfriend. I'm slightly hovering over it, and I'm just, I mean, like, I have the words in my head are just like, it's just like, well, this guy is a filthy casual, so you should just get rid of him.
You knew that getting into this relationship, sir.
So last but not least, December, and ironically, to be fair, December doesn't have that many games to begin with in terms of big games coming out, usually in the middle of the fall season.
I mean, I can just say, like, no fucks are given for me in December, because they're probably going to release more shit in December and be like, guess what? This game's coming out in December, guys.
Well, if you look below December, there's a shit ton of games coming out that don't have release dates. So
yeah,
there is. But for now, we're just kind of going off
what has been fully announced and is going to come out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
So the 3 titles that are on December, as far as like what's guaranteed, are Kingdom Hearts HD 2.5 Remix for PS3, NES Remix Pack, Wii U, and 3DS, and Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris. First off, I just had a gut feeling when they released the HD remake of Kingdom Hearts 1 that they're gonna do the second one.
Yeah, with how much it sold,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so...
That's like going, I was shocked to hear yesterday there's going to be a sequel to Frozen. Like, who didn't see that coming?
Yeah, so I'm not surprised, and I guess it's something just to kind of, keep people appetite, for...
One game that's supposed to come out later this year that I'm actually really excited for is, that doesn't have a release date yet, is Captain Toad Treasure Tracker.
Oh, yeah, that looks really cool.
Look,
that looks fun. It looks definitely different from the usual shit that Nintendo keeps on shoving down our throats.
did you ever play Super Mario World 3D that came out on the Wii U
Oh,
recently?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't, but I've seen
There
it.
were.
I got to play it at a friend's house for a while.
Did you ever get to play the Captain Toad levels?
Yeah.
That's
So-
essentially what Treasure Tracker is going to be. Is a shit ton of levels. And I'm like,
Yeah.
good. Those were fun.
Those were really fun. They were different.
Yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
The other thing I wanted to mention is and I'm not sure if it's coming out this year. Apparently, Hideo Kojima has a big announcement at TGS coming up. But like, there are rumors saying that Metal Gear Solid 5 is coming out this year, somewhere in the holiday season. It's just a rumor, but that might happen December or wherever it might fall on. If it does, it's fucking awesome. That's cool. I'm excited for the new Metal Gear. But outside of that, yeah, a lot of games have not outside of that, there's many games that have a release date initially. Like just to finish off December. I actually really like the NES Remix Pack. It's like basically WarioWare with classic NES games, and that's pretty cool. Because like it has that same aesthetic where like you're given a short amount of time to complete a task in, say, Zelda, like go kill this enemy, and then like 5 seconds later, like okay, you're in Metroid now, like kill Mother Brain, and it's a constant kind of like LCD, not LCD, but a constant kind of ADD type of game that WarioWare had back in the day. So I think that's pretty cool. I like that. It's a good time burner, if anything else. To just kind of, if you have like 5 minutes in between classes. And Lordcraft and the Temple of Osiris, Lordcraft 1 was, or the last one was actually really good. This one, I'm intrigued. I don't know. I kind of fear it might suck, but I don't know. I have to wait and see when it comes out. But yeah, guys.
Yeah, I don't like have any opinion on these games. I don't like Kingdom Hearts. NES Remix Pack is kind of like blah because it's like how much time I'm really going to be spending with it.
Goddamn train up, Ramen. You said you don't like Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna have to hit that unfollow button.
I'm sorry. I just like I've tried to play it and it just something in my head. I just can't. God, people are gonna fucking burn me at the stake here.
It's
I'm
okay,
so
dude.
fucked.
We've clearly dug ourselves some ditches that we're now gonna have to
I am
like.
so fucked. Yeah, it's gonna be like, hey guys, remember those fans I used to have?
We're both
but
gonna
yeah,
have to eat
but
Ghost Chili Peppers just to appease everybody.
I I just was never down for having Disney in my Final Fantasy. I just no. So just no. I just can't do it. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, people. I can't do it. NES Remix Pack, I think it's gonna just be like a very like short type of like, oh, I'll have fun with this for like a little bit, but then after that I don't really care. Lordcraft Temple of Osiris, the last Tomb Raider game, I only played a little bit of, but from what I did play of it, it was fun, it was cool, it was fresh.
Now, when you say Tomb Raider game, are you talking about the one that recently came out with?
Yes.
Okay, because that one,
like reboot.
right? This is not anything like the reboot. Rise of the Tomb Raider will be the sequel to that one.
Okay.
What this is a sequel to is a game that came out. God, let me see. The fucking few years ago, I want to say, 2010.
Yeah, it
It's
was
called
part of
Guardian of Light.
Yeah, it was part of the Xbox Live summer type of deal they were doing. It was actually really good. Actually, at one point,
It was a lot of fun. It was a co-op game where you play as Laura and second player plays as like a fucking god of some kind, and you have to go through a series of temples, fighting things and solving puzzles. Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris is going to be 4 players, and that same top-down isomorphic action puzzle-y solver thing. So both Lara Croft games that are coming out in the future, I'm actually looking forward to because I really, really liked the Tomb Raider reboot, and I really enjoyed Guardian of Light. So
you can actually, the cool thing about the last game is that it's actually, right now you can play it in Chrome for free, the Lara Croft and Guardian of Light.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So go check it out.
Get on it, yo.
I will have to check that out.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. But that pretty much wraps up the entire kind of list of games for this fall lineup. Like I said, it's every year. It's like everybody decides they're going to put all the the good games in the fall, not in the summer. Everything around it, but not during the summertime. Anyways.
That's how they make their money, because then they have all the little children who are just like, Mom, buy me the new Assassin's Creed game. Buy me both of them.
I just hate the fact that they sit during school times. Like, oh, hey, you think you're going to study for a test? Nope. Here's Assassin's Creed. And play it and, like, fail on your test the next day.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you guys for joining.
That seems to be a personal issue there, Anthony.
Shut up. So, thank you guys for joining me on this podcast. It is a very, very long one, but I'm sure everybody got a good listen.
You could just separate it into different segments and then release it.
I'm too lazy.
Or I'll release it as once and just say fuck it. Well, all right. Go with
Yeah.
the fuck it adjustment.
I feel that this is one of those times where it's warranted to have a long podcast. Also, the fact that I'm talking to you guys for a while, so it's good. It's good on both ends.
Very good.
So before we go, Greg, where can they find you on the internet?
Greg?
Are you alive?
Okay, I can hear you now. Holy crap! I think internet spike.
Where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at ChubRockGeek. You can find me on... Where else can you find me?
Mission Podcast.
Oh. Well, I mean, yeah, everything under Mission Start Podcast is where you can find my articles and reviews. I'm currently playing Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, and I will be writing a review of that as soon as I'm done with the game. I'm enjoying it so far. It's a little easy though, like easier than the previous games, just because the story is it's more graphic novel than it is like puzzles and shit. Like it's insane, but you can also find our Guerrilla Gaming Let's Play on the Mission Start Podcast site. If you don't already follow the Mission Start Podcast YouTube page, you can just search Guerrilla Gaming, and you'll see either the Mega Man game that we played called Dr. Wily's Final Attack, or Pokemon Fusion Generation. As of recording this, the last recorded episode of Pokemon Fusion Generation went up. We are not done with the game, but it's the last one for a little while. We have a bunch of random games coming up here soon that are really, they're a doozy. And then we have another Mega Man game coming towards the end of this month called Mega Man Rock Force, and that's going to be interesting. Let's play. So I mean, I've already edited it, and it's interesting. So
Awesome.
Look forward to that.
Sweet. Ramen, where can they find you on the internet?
Next to their window, behind a bush. I will be watching you all. No, no. Okay, of course you could find me here on Mr. Start Podcast, on the actual podcast or on the site, just randomly posting videos and whatnot. Where you could also find me during my Twitch shows, which Greg has become a staple member of. He helps me out on the cast, and you guys can find me there at twitch.tv/ExodRamen7. And that's pretty much it.
Cool. Awesome. You can follow me on Twitter at Defective Naruto. You can follow the work that me, Greg, and Ramen do on the site at missionstartpodcast.com, as well as our YouTube channel at youtube.com/missionstartpodcast1. We have been busy with some stuff in terms of SAC anime coverage is coming up pretty soon that we just covered. And coming up for me, I'm going to YaoiCon next week actually. I will be there, and I'm actually probably going to announce something next week in terms of that. So.
That you're gonna have a boyfriend?
Yes, exactly.
You know, if you mispronounce an...
because you just like mentioned YawiCon and then a announcement like in the same sentence, so it's like Anthony.
if you mispronounce the name of that convention just slightly wrong, it becomes a completely different convention.
I think I know where you're going, but it's definitely.
Do you?
Oh God. I don't know if you want to get into that.
So Yowie is incredibly close to Yahweh.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And Yahweh is the is either I cannot remember if it's the Jewish God or what the Jehovah Witnesses call God.
Oh.
Regardless, it's some kind of God, so it changes the convention entirely.
Wow. Okay. So guys, I'll either be at a Yowie anime convention or I might be at a Jewish God convention next week. So either or. I'll be in costume in some capacity. But anyways, that's it. One last plug is be sure to subscribe to us on Stitcher as well as iTunes. Just be sure to subscribe on that button. Also, shout outs to the Stitcher Radio on Twitter, retweeting us. You guys are awesome. Anyways, with that, we will see you guys maybe in another month. Who knows?
No, we have a lot more to talk about. If you don't want to talk about stuff, me and Greg will come up with something to talk about.
Alright, guys.
You'll hear from us soon.
See you guys later.